Welcome everybody to the BDA Boxing Podcast, broadcasting to you live from the true north. This is your friend, Mr. BDA. I'm glad that everybody could be on board for this one. As always, with me, I'm pretty sure he's there, my co-host, the one, the only King, Bucho. King, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Before we get down to the fun, because there is a lot to talk about, I want to thank everybody for joining us. And we gotta get some of the business out of the way. Bucho, you want to do the honors?
Check us out on Discord.
That's
Check
right.
out our Twitter page. Discord is fucking great, man. We have a lot of people now in the BDA server, 24/7. Everybody's there,
That's right.
boxing non-stop over there. So it's fucking great. This idea was great, man.
It was fantastic. Very providential that it would happen with this, what's it called? This purge, this Google Hangout purge that is going to be starting, I believe, today or tomorrow. Not to worry though, BDA family. We've got everybody in the Discord group, which is what Bucho calls
the bunker. Oh man,
the
we
bunker.
should call it the bunker, man.
That's what, yeah, the bunker. Yeah, it's a lead bunker. We got enough rations for everybody. We can grow our own crops in there. We got a hospital. We even have some like a mini mall for everybody to go. We have a church, obviously, which I handcrafted myself. The only prize though for entry is that you have to let me fuck your wives. That's really about it. There's not
Like a
that
cult.
much. Was that?
Like some sort of cult.
Well, I don't like to call it a cult, but if by cult you mean that everybody's wife has to deep throat me, then absolutely. I like to give them a nice deep fucking. And
you have been fined 1 credit for 1 violation of the verbal morality statute.
Forgot about that.
I forgot about that.
We couldn't escape it, even though we're not longer on Google Hangouts. This is not my choice, by the way, people. This is Goldstein, the new PDA CFO. He's the one that's on board for all of this. He wants to make this show more family friendly. So, hey, listen, we went public. We took the company public, so this is what we got to do. Want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. Meanwhile, Butch, if you can try to send some invites or get Stu in here. I don't know if he already has his Discord page, account. Do I have to do it, or
so.
can you do it?
I'll invite him once he's in. Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, all right, fantastic. So I want to give a shout out to Jason Bourne, BDA Boxing, Subash Kunwar, The Quags, Nes Mendoza, Apology Man, there he goes, Hard Recoil, Gonzalo's in there as well. Join call, yes, all right. We got Sin Amosia as well. Rasclot, shout out to Rasclot. Revolucion, Tommy Temper, John Gonzalez. Deep Throat BDA, giving it? Of course not. How dare you? I like to make, you know what I like to make women gag. To really make them throw up. I'm a sadist. That's what I like. Actually, I should say that's what I used to like after I found the Lord. I don't do that type of dirtiness anymore. What else? What else? I don't see Sherpa the Sons in the chat room. Hope he joins us later on as well. So, we're just getting situated here, trying to get everybody on board Discord. I think we're missing Stu and we're missing Precise. We're still in contact with them. We can still give them the link, so hopefully they'll be able to join.
Link.
Oh, and Jimmy. I mean, Jimmy, I know he's old school. He's a boomer, right? So I don't know if he knows how this. I don't even know if he knows what Discord is. By the way, Johnny Boy, is Johnny Boy trying to? Johnny Boy, you there?
No. I was calling him. I made a mistake.
No. Okay, but I see he's in the group. How can we get him in?
No.
Ring. Shout out to Gonzalo, who just donated via the super chat, and he doesn't leave a message. Gonzalo, how many times I gotta tell you? You gotta leave a message, man. Making me look bad in here. And you don't want to make me look bad. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Bucho, let's get right down to it, man. There's not a lot to talk about. There's not a lot going on, though, I should say. Not a lot going on this weekend, but there's a lot to talk about. You want to do the honors, or should I start out with something? You tell me.
Start. You go ahead. I think we have the same things on the list here, but go ahead.
Open the door!
Oh, sorry, hold on a sec. Somebody's knocking on my apartment. Hold on.
I want to talk to you!
I'm busy right now.
I want to talk to you!
Busy.
Yes, I want you to know, sir, that you have a hole living in so
All right, sorry about that crazy girlfriend.
That?
I don't know, some crazy girlfriend. Or well, it's not even a girlfriend, it's a woman I met. Anyway, listen, the point is this. We have, like I said, a lot to talk about. All right, did you send invites? How come I can't? Oh, Revolucion, are you there?
What's going on, ladies?
All right, we got the... I got the second most famous Mexican ginger in the world, and that is Revolucion.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm a man of many ethnicities. I'm like a racial sponge. You know, you put me in a room with some people long enough, I learn the languages, I learn the cultures, I take it all, man.
Now, how many public pools around the United States have a photo of you that says, "Do not let this man in here"?
I don't go in the pool anyway, man. That's
not anymore.
I'm not gonna get into that, but of my own choice, I wouldn't go in the pool. You ain't got to put my fucking sign up.
All right. And by the way, we will be taking calls. If anybody wants to call and just, again, open format type show, we can talk about anything. Let's start off with the most controversial topic. I know everybody loves to talk about this. Everybody loves to talk about. We did a census with the BDA Research and Development team. They found out that the most talked about topics on BDA is, first of all, it's Triple G, Canelo, Lomachenko, Pacquiao, Mayweather, Deontay Wilder, liberals, and pussy, which apparently the computer mixed together. They considers it the same thing. So we will be talking about this little nugget, Leonard Ellerby. By the way, I think you're breathing into the mic.
There's a bunch of wind noise.
I think he's breathing into the mic.
Okay, let me.
Yeah, you're breathing into the mic. What
and
the
there's I can hear myself.
Me too, man. Hold on. Okay, hold on.
I can hear myself too. It sounds like you get the speakers on or something. You're supposed to be a pro, man. You're supposed to have this figured out by now. What's the matter with you?
Hey, bro, this is brand new for all of us. We got a lot of growing pains going on here.
Yeah.
All right, just be silent for a minute. Can you hear anything?
Hey, fuck you, man! Who put this thing together? Me! That's who!
That was Revolucion a couple of days ago on the Hangouts, on the
Who
private
needs
Hangouts.
somebody to point the fucking finger at and call a fucking bad guy?
I got fucking diapers. I shit my pants every day. I can't walk.
All right, listen. We got okay. Let me put the news back on. Actually, let's see what people are saying in the chat room. some people want to talk about the Red King versus Deryachenko. That's David Abraham. Seamus Carey says, this guy's Mexican? Yeah, he's Mexican. John Gonzalez says, wait, Revolucion is a ginger? Yeah, it's the thing is, because when he's on camera, we get the Hangouts window small, so I don't think many people can see that we got like a... You know, Revolucion, you look like Louis C.K. if he was a university student in like Caltech or something.
I feel you. I got all the hair left. I got long red hair. I got the goatee growing out. I am Italian. I'm actually Italian. You think I was Irish. I'm really Italian. Honorarily Greek. I didn't need to get fucked in the ass. I just worked in the restaurant.
Oh, wait a minute.
I just worked in the restaurant long enough. Then I learned the language, and I'm that. But I cook fucking Puerto Rican food all the time. I'm all over the place. I listen to rap.
The whole thing about Greeks, the whole thing about Greeks being gay, that's not gonna fly with Pete, who I believe is Greek, right? I think.
You got nothing to deny. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's true. It's.
Hey, listen, I don't disparage
what the hell
here.
Are we getting here?
You don't even eat the fucking sheep's brain on a goddamn Easter.
All right, listen, we here at BDA do not discriminate against anybody, whether it be sexual orientation, eating habits, whatever. By the way, I see we got Gonzalo on the line. Gonzalo, are you there?
Yeah, I'm listening.
All right. We did a sound test with you, right? The last time. So if you could hear everything that is going on.
Asking BDA.
Can you hear that? Gonzalo, can you hear that? All right.
Whatever, BDA. Let's move on. Let's move. We're fucking slowing down here. With
don't tell me what to do. Don't
what about that Dylan White bullshit?
Yeah.
What about that Dylan White?
Okay, so what's the deal with Dylan White? Supposedly they did another test and he passed this one. It's a VADA test, I think.
The VADA test came back totally clear from what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
UCAD test, they're claiming the B sample is shitty. So a lot of questions get asked here. Well, what is UCAD just trying to push aside Dillian White with a fake failed drug test and VADA's right? Or was it legitimate incompetence on the part of UCAD and they just fucked it up? Like,
well, wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Sketchy.
Supposedly, VADA is supposed to be the one that can catch everybody. They supposedly have more stringent testing procedures. So the fact that UCAD was able to catch him and not VADA, I think it's VADA that screwed up on this one.
You could slice it all types of different ways, man.
Yeah.
It just shows that the system isn't perfect.
That's right. Like a Congolese cannibal who is very good. We can chop this up a number of ways, man. That's a good point. And I don't know who's in the right. I don't know who's in the wrong. But I'll tell you something right now. Some people are trying to say, "Oh, see, this test exonerates him." No, it doesn't exonerate him because it's not about whether you can pass all of them. If you miss one test, that's the fucking problem right there. So
but did he really miss the test too? Now it brings in that is there corruption going on UCAD's part? Or on VADA's part? Like
you said, we can chop this up any different. There's a whole different angles. Who knows, man? Who knows? The point is,
it just something stinks. Something stinks.
It's a bit of a moot point if you think about it, because, like we've said before on this show numerous times, we think that almost everybody at the top level is on something, some form of performance and censor.
Are they going to revoke the Rivas decision to a no contest?
They should. I don't know. It doesn't. I'm looking at the article here, and I don't see anything about that. VADA. Well, it says here VADA was not informed of the failed test. That's the point. Nobody was informed of the failed test. I mean, the only one that knew was Eddie Hearn. I don't know if Dylan White even knew that he had tested caught before the fight.
Yeah.
Ultimately, this is all moot. Oh, by the way, Baldomir gets 18 years in prison. Whoa!
Whoa, what is
for
this?
Sexually abusing his daughter. What does that mean, sexually abused, by the way? Because nowadays, if you look at your daughter wrong, that's considered sexual abuse.
Yeah, go put a longer skirt on. Oh, that's sexual abuse.
Yeah, because you're telling your daughter.
At least...
Go ahead, Gonzalo.
There was at least 12 witnesses that can testify that he's guilty.
12 witnesses. What did they have? A camera crew there while he was fucking her? Or?
Hello.
Okay.
Gonzalo's on a gag order now. He don't want to give too much information away. He might be
Well,
neighbors.
he's still awaiting his AIDS test, so I don't think he wants to talk too much about sex and all that.
Well, I got the A sample back, but it takes 10 days for you to like, if you're gonna be positive, for like the antibodies to show up. Well, it's not even about the B test. I gotta go take another test tomorrow.
I didn't hear about this. What's going on with you, Gonzalo?
No, I gotta take a second test after like 10 days because
for what? For what?
The first test, like if you take it, like if you did something, then you don't develop antibodies till like 10 days after. But even if I came back with the,
this is for HIV/AIDS, right? I didn't hear none of this until now. Are you good?
Yeah, I have to go take a second test for my wife can have peace of mind.
Anyway, listen. The point is this.
Well, I wish you the best. I wish the best of luck for you, man.
Don't worry about it.
You're gonna be cool.
He's gonna be okay.
We all been here before. We all been here before.
Don't worry about it. He's gonna be. Well, wait a minute. We've all been here before. Don't talk about everybody. Okay, so yeah, the whole deal in white thing. We'll see. Now they're even talking about the Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua. By the way, did any of you guys see Ruiz on the Joe Rogan Experience?
No. Was it good?
Man.
No, apparently it wasn't because he was just there for 58 minutes. Usually when somebody's there under an hour, it means that they don't have much to say. And I was just...
Now.
Was that?
He's a big star now.
But he's not a very talkative fella. Apparently, from what I read, all he was saying was, "I'm very blessed. I work very hard. I'm very blessed."
Yeah, that seems about the gist of what he can give you in an interview. I mean, if Joe Rogan start talking about the planets and space,
forget about it.
And European politics, whatever the fuck you want to go, you're gonna lose.
Jamie, it's entirely possible that chimpanzees were taking DMT and then turned into humans. Shut up! Enough with your fucking DMT.
It's a little fucking.
Who you guys talking about? Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy gave no credit to boxing about 5 years ago. He was talking about how the UFC fighters are like bigger and better than boxers.
Yeah.
It's bits and pieces with him.
Hey, listen, he's a good fella. He just, when it comes to boxing, listen, it's the same thing. If I start talking MMA, people could make fun of me, so I don't blame anybody.
Oh, well, he was talking shit about MMA. Sorry, about boxing. He was saying, it's dying.
Yeah, but he can change his mind, right?
I was joking.
We always known that like the people that are rich in the world, in America, the white people, white collared people, they're gonna pay for the sport of boxing because it's a pure sport. In two hands, when the boxer starts up, in his developmental stages, when he's a young lad, and he becomes a good fighter, there's nothing better in the world than a boxer that's a pure, a fighter with two hands than anything else compared in any sport.
That's a good point.
That's why it's called a prize fighter.
That's a good point.
Honorable. As a fucking man, boiled down to it. There's nothing more honorable.
That's right. Well, a priest is more honorable than a boxer, I would say.
I'm talking in sport. I'm talking in sports.
Well, hold on a second. The ultimate sport is battling the devil. So that's right there. You're already wrong right there. But that's okay, Revolucion. I'm here to educate you. That's what I'm here for. I'm the cult master here.
Just don't ask me to take no fucking knee in front of you.
All right. But listen, I just wanted to say something regarding it's interesting to what Gonzalo said, because you usually look at MMA when they vote for the best fight of the year for the UFC or whatever. It's usually a fight that involved a lot of stand-up. Nobody wants, even MMA fans, they don't want to watch a fucking grappling match. They want to watch striking. And that's what boxing, when boxing is good, at its best, it's very rare that anything can beat it because it's two guys punching each other over the head. Whereas MMA, they'll take breaks. Yeah?
How many of you guys have seen like the first UFCs, like 1 through 10, like the early days of it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've
seen like I really like that shit a lot. And when it first came out, like you had sumo wrestlers, you had Savat. It was really about style against style.
Yeah.
And people really thought that all these different striking styles. Oh, the kung fu strike is going to be different from the karate strike. Do you guys know who in the first UFC, what boxer competed? It was a cruiserweight boxer.
Yeah, some former IBF champ, right? Or no, actually, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I'm confusing. Yeah, but yeah, the guy who wore the glove, right?
One glove.
Yeah.
Yep. Art Jimerson.
Our
He wore
Jimerson.
one
Yeah, that was
glove
his name.
on his jab hand. Because he's like, I want to be able to grapple and wrestle if I got it, but I don't want to break my jab hand because I got to fight with somebody coming up.
Mhm.
And Hoist Gracie just fucking took him down. And
By the way, I just wanna clarify something. Virtuoso says priests also fight molestation charges. Is that a sport BDA? That's the Catholic Church, by the way, which has been infiltrated by the devil and which has always been engaged in degeneracy for centuries now. So yeah, I agree with you, Virtuoso. The Catholic Church is not the true path to God. Anyway, yeah, the early UFCs, man, those were the days because, and even early Pride too. The first couple of Prides, they were fantastic because it was like a movie. Like you said, they invited people from different disciplines. You know, you got the guy with the sumo wrestler, you had the guy with the gi, you had the guy with the kung fu pants.
yeah, it looked like Street Fighter. Everybody got the different gear on.
Exactly.
And there were straight up no rules. And no rounds and no judges. It was like Kimbo fights, man. It was gruesome, some of them. Jesus Christ, you almost see a couple people die. Legit. Like, you know, the referee, big John McCarthy. He just like, oh, let's get it on. That guy, like the big UFC staple referee. He refereed the second one, and they gave him instructions: do not stop the fights. You're not allowed to stop the fights as a referee. And in the second fight he refed, he broke that rule, and in doing so, saved somebody's life. He just had to say, look, I'm not letting it happen no more. He broke it up.
Yeah, but I remember even in the second UFC, which was his first appearance, he was screwing it up a little bit because it was when Gracie had some kung fu guy in an armbar, and the guy tapped, and Joe McCarty was just standing there staring, and they took him.
He didn't have quite a good angle on it. I know you're talking about. He didn't have quite a good angle, and Hoist cranked it on him. You know, because
And by the way, you said it was gruesome. The early UFCs were a little bit gruesome, but it wasn't as gruesome as taking the Lord's name in vain, which you just did a couple of seconds ago. So just better watch it on that front, my friend.
Which Lord? Whatever.
You said JC. Anyway, listen, the point is, by the way, Bucho, Apology wants a link. So let's
I'm trying to get Stu on here. We're very close to getting Stu here.
Yeah, but how many people can we get on? Do we know?
8.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure because I don't know if it's like so it's not 10 then. It's not like Hangouts.
Well,
it doesn't matter, BDA. Continue talking.
If I need to get off for anybody else, just let me know.
That's okay. That's okay. And the way I like how when I ask Bucho something, he just dismisses it. Like, no, it doesn't matter. What do you mean it doesn't matter? Of course it matters.
8 or 10. I mean,
okay. Just say 10, you don't know, man. You're like 8. A doctor. Instead of saying I don't know, it's like, well, it might be 8, it might be 12.
I'm doing a bunch of shit at the same time here, so.
All right.
Real questions. All right, we're gonna get Stu here now.
Oh, fantastic! Finally, because I was worried about. I was worried. You know what? I'm stressing out over this. I want to have Jimmy back. I want to have Precise. I'm not gonna feel comfortable until we get everybody on board.
Yeah. No man left behind.
That's right. It's like the Spec Ops. No man ever gets left behind. All right.
Get Jimmy in here. He ain't been in a while.
But everybody on Discord, if you don't have a profile picture, put something, because then we're gonna get all confused here.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Recognize did it right away. He got his profile picture as soon as he hopped on. By the way, Stu, are you there? Anyway. So Ruiz said something in the Joe Rogan podcast where he talked about how he's training in Mexico, so he's going to be close. And some people interpret that as meaning that the rematch is going to be taking place in Mexico, and he's going to be training in Mexico, which is close. Anybody? By the way, Stu is asking, how do I unmute this? I don't see you muted.
It's next to the link.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Fucking thing.
All right. First of all, the language is not necessary. All right. That type of salty English pub language will not fly here. All right. So just try to tone it down a little bit, Stu.
I forgot I was speaking to a Canadian cook.
Oh, now wait a minute. All right, listen, Stu, good to have you on board. We're just talking about Luis, who was Andy Luis, of course, who was in the Joe Rogan podcast last night, and he was throwing little hints out there that some things that people are interpreting as hints that supposedly the rematch is going to be taking in place in Mexico. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
hello,
I hear you.
Stu. Hello,
Yeah.
Stu.
Yeah, I mean that's a brave move by Joshua if he takes that fight. I was calling for that. I was actually calling for Joshua to do something special.
Mm.
I think that's what's going to get him his honour back. This took a bit of dignity as well because it was an embarrassing defeat, weren't it? You know, and he's like, you know, a few people have jumped off the ship, shall we say, or the bandwagon. So if he wants to get them on side, I mean, there's no better way to revenge a defeat than go to somewhere like Mexico. But I honestly believe it would be a recipe for disaster with him. I mean, this guy runs out of steam when it's 20 degrees. What's it going to be like when it's a fucking 120? Do you know what I mean?
Well, you know what? The
Holy shit,
problem
that's a good point.
the problem is going to be if they hold a fight somewhere like Mexico City. That the heat's not the problem there; it's the altitude. If they hold the fight, it's over for Joshua if it takes place in Mexico City.
And what about the cartel?
Yeah, they might kill him just to harvest his organs or something, because they probably think he's some giant from the biblical days, and they're gonna try to chop off his butt cheeks and his biceps.
What about the fucking water? What about the water?
Okay, no, but
Joshua will get the fucking sip of that in him. It's good night.
Yeah,
Earth.
but I don't know, man. Joshua gets a bit of that fucking Mexican beef in him. He might feel $1 million. That's what he's used to, isn't he? Riding up to the map.
You gotta have the Mexican beef and wash it down with a Mexican Coca-Cola with the real sugar, and he's
Oh,
good
yeah.
to go. Stay away from the water out the tap.
Listen, mate. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. It's a very brave thing to do. I don't see that. I don't see that happening. But if it does happening, then I think Anthony Josh will get beat again. Because you're talking about a guy, like I said before, high altitude, heat, humidity. You know, you can say Mexico City's not hot, but it's all right you Mexicans saying that. But Mexico City to us is a very fucking hot place. I can hear an echo. Someone needs to.
But Stu, Joshua has those.
Mexico's a very fucking hot place. So, and you know, it's, like I said, the high altitude. This guy has no tank. You know, plenty of muscle for oxygen to burn. He's going to be very nervous. There's going to be probably 100,000 Mexicans there. I mean, that's really going to help the nerves. I mean, if he had a panic attack in fucking New York, wherever it is, what's he going to be like in fucking Mexico City or something like that? I mean, just a recipe for disaster if he does take this fight. But, you know,
so Joshua isn't that good?
if he pulls it off, mate, then yeah, he's back.
Do you think Joshua can win this fight? It seems like. Do you think Joshua can win this fight? It seems like
of course he can.
Everything has to be perfect. Everything. No, but hold on. It seems like everything has to be perfect. The fight has to be in the UK or something like that. Like, well, if he fights Ruiz in New York, is he gonna get another panic attack or some shit? Like, what? I don't understand. Like, is he a hype job?
I mean, he knocked down Ruiz.
Huh.
I mean, up until then, he was looking good, and then the fucking wheels came off, you know? Ruiz, like, answered the bell. He fucking got back to him, knocked him down, and that's when Joshua started losing it. He was looking good up until that fucking first knockdown.
That's right. And by the way, who's Godspeed that just came into the?
Oh, that's Apology.
That's Apollo G. Apollo G.
He's got some sort of a anime avatar in there. I don't know what that's about.
It's real. It's cool.
All right, so yeah, but here's the thing. Anthony Butcher brought up a good point, Stu. Does everything have to be perfect for Joshua to win? Can't he beat Ruiz in Mexico?
Well, this is the thing, yeah. I mean, this is what, like I said, I used the cricket term. It's like a home track bully. The Indians get accused of it, where that you play them in India in conditions and environment that suits them. They'll fucking thrash anyone, but take them away from India and conditions that don't suit them, they're dreadful. And I think that's what Joshua is. He's a home track bully. He's a home track bully, and if he's not in his comfort zones. Pieces, we've seen it. He's left the UK once, and look at the performance we got from him.
Yeah, but can we make a proper? I mean, yeah, he left it once.
This is not a third world country where it's fucking you know, comfortable for him. Where it's a part a sound crowd. This is America, man. Where fucking you can do anything you want. It's a great place to be. So it's not like it's an uncomfortable environment he's in. He's in the fucking New York, for fuck's sake, and he felt the pieces then. So can you imagine if you took him to, say, what Ali did, went to fucking Manila and Zaire at the time, which is now, I think it's now Congo, isn't it? Dominican Republic of the Congo now, but it was Zaire then. And can you imagine Joshua and Zaire in the jungle?
Hey,
Well-
I don't know. He could get out the first round butterflies. This first time around,
Yeah.
he really fucked it up. He could bounce back.
I
Don't
think
take it
so.
all away from the man.
But that's the
Like
thing.
some people already counted him out. I wouldn't do that.
He's
Yeah.
got to have that moment where he sits down and says, "Do you really fucking want this, or is this just fame and 6-pack abs and bitches in bikinis and Ferraris? No, this is fighting."
Hey, Virtuoso, thank you for
Yeah,
the
but that's the
contribution. He's
thing.
something quickly because it's super chat here. Virtuoso, he says the great ones win where they're not supposed to. That's a good point. Go ahead, Gonzalo.
And he's
Yeah,
in a
this
position
was
where he's
a-
not supposed to win. If you could pull this off,
Mhm.
that's a step toward greatness.
This was supposed to be his coming out party, his United States debut. I mean, that's what's supposed to be something for him, that he was gonna shine, going to somebody else's home country. This was supposed to be in his favor, to make him look good. What every fighter does, step out of their comfort zone. But at the same time, Andy Ruiz, this isn't like his backyard because he's from California. And then the East Coast is nothing compared to the West Coast as far as like an American fighter is
Yeah.
concerned. There's not a lot of Mexicans in New York.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly hometown hero Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, but they'll travel. I mean, it's not super far. I mean, it's still in the United States. I remember Canelo fighting Rocky Fielding. There was a nice crowd there, and there was a lot of Mexicans. But yeah, obviously, it's not California for sure.
I'm
but-
trying to remember how the crowd was how the crowd was split for that fight when they were announcing the names, who got cheered, who got booed. I think AJ got the bigger cheers.
For sure. I mean, yeah, at that time, I don't think a lot of Mexicans were going to travel. I mean, it's like,
Just compare Tyson Fury's performance after 3 years out of the ring, basically on drugs. He goes to America, fights the most dangerous guy in the division, and he was at home straight away, wasn't
Hey,
he?
great,
No,
great fucking great
no. You know what I mean? So I mean, and I think that's what helped Fury because he took the occasion in where
Here, Echo, man.
Joshua, it was all yeah, but it's not me.
I know it's Revolution.
For
Go
a
ahead.
revolution, muted the mic when I was talking or muted the YouTube, then we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Uh-oh. Stu's gonna chastise Revolution now.
It keeps fucking up. It keeps fucking up. There's a new format. I don't have YouTube going in the back.
Don't blame the format, Revolution. You always do that, man. Come on, what's the matter with you?
I'm working with it. I'm working.
All right.
Go ahead,
And
Stu. Go ahead.
Another thing,
Let's Stu finish
yeah.
his point.
of course.
I can't remember what I was saying now. Can you remind me? 'Cause
I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying
You're
attention. So.
talking about Wilder, like what Fury did,
Yeah,
and he
yeah, just like how fighters deal with like the big the big shows in America, being in the limelight in America. Tyson Fury took it in. Not once did he show nerves. He didn't burn any energy off being, he just embraced it. Where Joshua, it was just all too much for him. And I think he just fell to pieces on the night. Like I said, he wasn't. Go on.
Do you
Go on,
think it was? Yeah. Do you think it was his attitude? Like Tyson Fury was with the fans. He was on like Breakfast Club. He was like trying to build his name, while Joshua was just doing advert and having sex with like those females and stuff.
What's wrong with
Listen,
having
Josh-
sex?
different
man? What
attitude.
the hell?
Joshua become more interested in looking fucking corny and sticking by the political agenda, but from the globalist. That's what he is. He's a globalist puppet. He's been told. It's like
Oh,
it's like Joshua's been told how to act, what to act. You just you keep doing your thing, Josh. And he's not thinking for himself. He's just corny as fuck. Where Tyson Fury, whatever he comes up with, is from the heart, isn't it? You know what I mean? There's no no fuckeries with Tyson Fury. What you see is what you get with Tyson Fury. Where Joshua is fake. You know, he gives it all
I
this
agree.
humble guy. That he's a nice, placid, humble guy. Anyone that
Yeah.
knows Anthony Joshua away from boxing says he's one of the biggest pieces of shit around. I know a girl that met him. From my town, she met him. He was in, and she said he's one of the most arrogant men she's ever met in her life, and she'd only saw him for about 30 seconds, and she could work that out. A real fucking slime ball that loves himself, and he started to think that he was the king of England. But let's be real. When you look at the history of the kings in England, they usually don't fall to pieces when there's a battle. We've had some brave kings, do you know what I mean, that stood their ground and went about. Joshua folded like a deck of cards, sat there just looking at Rob McCracken. What do I do now? Get out of here. Tyson Fury's the king of Great Britain. Fuck Anthony Joshua. I'm done with him.
It's amazing how
You
quickly you
jumped
turned.
ship?
It's amazing how quick. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly you turned on Anthony Joshua,
Listen,
man.
I'm done with, not
it's
because he lost, not because he lost,
Mhm.
because I'm starting to realise what he's all about. Look how he acted when he got beat. That's not the reaction of a proud man, a proud champion, sitting there smiling, having pictures with rings. If a man just knocked me out, I do not want to be taking pictures with the guy.
That's a good point. That is
That's
a
true.
very good. I agree with
You
Stu
know-
on that one.
You know what I mean?
Did Lex Lewis take pictures of Rockman when he got knocked out?
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean, Canadians do not act that way.
It was all a show for the Americans, mate. He was so desperate to get Americans on side. He didn't matter how corny he got. He just didn't care how corny he got, and he just become desperate and gone off the man. He's not real. This is the thing. You can be a piece of shit. At least if you're real, I can accept that. You just like Deontay Wilder. I don't like Deontay Wilder. He's a piece of shit, but that is Deontay Wilder. He's not faking anything. He really is a piece of shit. But at least he's showing us.
That's what I've always said about. Oh, go ahead, Butcher. Sorry.
Go on. No, I'm finished. Go on.
Oh, okay, can I just read some comments? Sin in the chat says Stu used to love Joshua. What happened? Then we have John Gonzalez says Stu Longshank Little. Was it? Which king was it?
No.
Henry. Whatever. The guy from fucking Braveheart. No, Henry is a fat one. All right. Raskla222 says, Stu, what the fuck what should AJ do? Cry? Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, cry. Oh, listen, did I say he should cry? Did I say that? Take pictures with him smiling away like some fucking Cheshire cat. I don't want to see that. You just got embarrassed, knocked down. You're sitting there grinning with some stupid smile on your grin. Get out of here, man.
I agree. I completely agree with Stu on this one. I mean, it's
that's what you do when you come into a fight and you expect to lose. That's like what Tom Schwartz did with Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? You know you're the jobber in there. And AJ's a champ taking pictures after he just got upset.
I think Stu figured him out to a T.
When Tyson lost to Holyfield, do you think he sat there taking pictures with him? Smiling.
No.
Well done, Holyfield. You got me there, son. Yeah, you know what I mean? Right good ass kicking you give me there. No, he went home, stewed on it for fucking how long, and ended up biting Holyfield's ear off in the rematch because he got that wound up.
Yeah.
So,
but isn't it?
You know, I'm not saying Joshua should bite Ruiz's ear off in the rematch. I'm saying
well, why not? Why not?
You just should say. Did he look like a man that cared? I mean, it was bizarre watching him.
Do you think he already lost a rematch, Ruiz, yet? Like, you think that's it? Mentally, you can see that there's no chance he can beat Ruiz?
I would say that, man. I would say that because it's never a good sign when a guy gets knocked out the way or stopped the way he did, and which is basically he just capitulated. Like Stu says, he was looking at his corner, didn't know how to react, was out of gas, was laughing after the fight, and then all of a sudden people are pressuring him into a ring. It seems to me like he should be taking tune-ups, but it would appear that his ego and his management don't want him to do
right.
that.
I mean, only a narcissist would make a comment like, what was it he said to Eddie Chambers? You know, about the superior race.
Like, disgrace to the superior race.
He was the spokesman for the superior race. Well, I'm sorry if that's the superior race what I saw that night. There's fucking no hope for any of us.
You know what the problem is with this British people that came from Africa? They were never enslaved the way the Americans did, and therefore they don't have that
Whoa.
that in their genetics.
It's true though. It's
They've
true.
never
Like I
faced
said, the difference is the ones in America didn't have no choice to be there. The ones over here have, and that's what makes me laugh when this Black Lives Matter. It's tried to get a little movement going. It fell to fucking pieces quickly. Let's be real. How can you play a fucking victim card when you chose to come here? You know, come and join the fucking the colonists and then moan about how you've been treated. It don't work like that. So it's not the same sort of environment in America. So
That's
the
right.
race thing is not.
That's right. See, over there in England, they have the BBC, which is quality radio and television. They have the fry-ups. I mean, the great weather. They just have a bunch of perks that the American slaves didn't have. So, I mean, now they do. They live in the greatest country in the world. But the British slaves, or whatever you want to call them, obviously they weren't slaves. They had the perks, and therefore, I think that's the problem with Anthony Joshua. He's got perks up the wazoo. He's been too comfortable. But that's the thing, though. That's the thing. Obviously, I'm being facetious here a little bit, but it's interesting with Joshua because he did beat adversity before when he fought Dylan White against Povetkin. He did stop Povetkin. Klitschko couldn't do it. Who did he beat? Parker. I mean, he had some the best resume in the heavyweight division, and all of a sudden he fell apart. And now all of a sudden everybody's saying, "Oh,
It's not that though. It's not that, bro. It's the arrogance of the man. I mean, he walks around, he strolls around, and like his fucking shit don't stink. Let's be real, he does. I've been seeing it for ages now. And
Yeah,
I'm a very arrogant man.
Stu, it seems like all of a sudden after he lost, all these things come out.
Yeah.
Long list why everybody hates Joshua. But before that, it was just put under the rug.
To be fair, to be Butcho, if you've got the fucking video proof on the channel, I've been saying this guy is a fucking piece of shit for a long time.
a piece of
To
shit."
me, the most telling time.
You're quick to call me. You're quick to call me AJ fanboy, but I've been calling this guy. You know, Dillian White told us about Femi. He told us everything we need to know about this guy. You know, if you want to listen, then fair enough. Listen, I was backing him as a fighter. I like him as a fighter. He carries the UK flag, world champion. I'm going to back the guy, but that doesn't mean I want to have tea and biscuits with him.
Now
here's a nice guy.
Here's the ultimate question, though. Here's the ultimate question going in. We can crack joke and we can talk about how he's arrogant and all that, but what happens in the rematch? Let's say it takes place in a location which is comfortable for Joshua, where he can breathe properly, he gets the proper training, he's not going to be stressed, he's not going to be having panic attacks.
But what's that?
I don't know. Let's say whatever it is, London, Greece, whatever, in Valhalla, whatever. The point is, let's say that fight takes place. Can he beat stylistically? Can he beat Ruiz?
I think so. Pretty easily. I mean, he should. Like,
no,
Ruiz has fast
not
hands,
so easily.
Hold on. Let apology.
Hold on.
Yeah,
he's not that fast on the feet. And like in Parker fight, for example, he did well, but he didn't like destroy Parker or anything. So he's like limited, but he has fast hands. So Joshua should be a guy like that.
Yeah, it depends where the fight is. If it's in England, he wins. If it's in Mexico, he loses. If it's in America, it's 50-50. That's how it is. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that fucking Ruiz is a new coming of Mike Tyson. You know, Mike Tyson.
He's similar to Mike Tyson, Stu. He's similar to Mike Tyson, but he doesn't punch as hard.
Of course he is. Yeah, of course he is.
I don't know.
He doesn't punch as hard.
Mike Tyson.
But with the speed and the weight,
Mike Tyson. I think that's the wrong comparison.
He doesn't have the Mike Tyson mentality. He's not a vicious man who wants to.
Look at the defense, man.
You can't
he was getting
check it out,
man.
You can't downgrade too much Andy Ruiz because if you've only seen so much of him, that just because he's fat and we haven't seen him in like really good fights, that you're gonna downplay his abilities. No, we can only take what he has shown us and kind of go off that. He's good. Can he show us better? Maybe he can, but he hasn't shown us to where we can say he's gonna show us worse. Because obviously, like the only close fight he had was against Parker, and Parker had a good chin. Okay, Parker had a good chin, and Parker he showed a good chin against Dillian White. He showed a good chin against Anthony Joshua when the referee was stepping in and kind of like causing the action to be like he couldn't do the inside fighting. So I mean, we can't really knock on Reese's abilities. We can say maybe he's not his full potential. Like, you know, he's not gonna be as like, he's not gonna be a great fighter. But we can't say he's a bum either. We say he's a bad fighter because obviously he's never shown that, you know, he can get knocked out or, you know, that he's gotten beaten. No, maybe he's not as great as other fighters, but he's not as bad to where we can say he's shown us that he has a vulnerable chin or whatnot.
Who said he's bad though? No one here said he's bad. What we're saying is, you know, let's calm down and see how he gets on in his next fight. It could have been a
Exactly.
fluke. It happens. And you say about, yeah, he had a good fight at Park. Yes, he did, but that's the only guy he's fought that's worth a toss. So let's move. You know, let's because let's be real. He beat Anthony Joshua, so he has to be up there in the top 3 heavyweights right now. He is. And he's a dangerous guy. There's no doubt in that. But let's just calm down. Let's see how it goes. Because that Anthony Joshua that night, let's be real.
But that's the thing, Stu. People are that's what I'm getting sick and tired. Look, as far as Andy Ruiz, me personally, he's overplaying the whole I'm a Mexican. He's a Mexican American. She should be representing the United States as well, and that's kind of getting old. But I'm not trying to be pro nationalistic for the Mexicans, but I'm just gonna go and say this thing about Anthony Joshua. The excuses have been over the wall ever since he lost. The father, he stepped in. He was partying. You know, this and that. That's ridiculous for a top-notch fighter. You know, pound for pound. I mean, he's a heavyweight, but whatnot. For a good fighter with the good wins and the good resume, all these excuses. Come on. I mean, are we being serious?
Or Gonzalo.
No, my
Or
excuse is,
Gonzalo.
no, but my excuse is, sorry, quickly, apology, I'll let you get in.
I'm not saying you, Stu. I'm just saying everybody.
Just saying, my only excuse with Joshua is, and I don't think it's an excuse, it's a weakness. I can't call it an excuse. Actually, it's a weakness, and that says, like you said, he's a home track bully. Take him out of his environment where he's being looked after by all sorts of people, where he's been allowed to take his Ivan Drago, and where he's got all the English fans backing him, the ref and the judges. He's on it, you know, he's comfortable and he can beat anyone. But take him away from an environment where he fell to pieces. We've only got to see that. I mean, you know,
even think back to the Parker fight, how much the referee affected that fight. That was disgusting.
But
Andy Ruiz is not Mexican. Andy Ruiz is Mexican American, and there's nothing wrong with being a Mexican American as opposed to a Mexican. There's nothing wrong with that. People want to say, "Oh, he's a Mexican." No, he's a Mexican American that grew up partially in Mexico and also in the United States. But he's a Mexican American because he grew up in the United States. He ate in the United States. He went to school in the United States. But he has Mexican heritage. But there's nothing wrong with that.
Canelo might as well be a fucking Mexican American because he spent more time in America than he has in Mexico.
That's a good point. And by the way, there is something wrong with being a Mexican.
Sorry, apology. Did you want to say something before I interrupted you?
Yeah. The whole point is, like, Gonzalo, you say people making excuses, that's fine. But would you say Joshua didn't look the same in that fight? I mean, he before the fight, he gave his belt to Ruiz. Then he walked out with his head hanging down. Then he started laughing and chewing his gum shield. Like, that's not...
But you know why that is, Apology?
From a fire.
But you know why that is? Because he realized he was in a tough fight with a fighter that maybe everybody else underrated. But he knew in his heart of hearts he was facing a fighter with the good amateur acumen, with the good amateur resume. And because you as a fighter know who you're going to fight, even though nobody else will like regard him as the same. But obviously you're stepping into the ring with them. You get the feeling that you know who you're going to fight because you're going to do some research. And then with the experience that you have fighting different styles, if everybody's downplaying this guy Andrew Ruiz because nobody knows about him, but you know, you're stepping into the ring with them, you are not going to be so like naive as everybody else. And the truth of the fact of the matter that Andy Ruiz was a good fighter with good hand speed, with a good amateur resume.
Hey guys, can I just jump in? Can I just jump in real quick and say that we do have the phone lines open, so if anybody wants to call in and give us your opinion on what we're talking about, open lines today. We are taking calls about anything, preferably about the subject we're talking about at the moment. So just to let you know, the number is right up there on the screen, and we're talking Joshua versus Ruiz. Now here's the thing. Gonzalo said, well, there's nothing wrong with being Mexican. Well, there is, you know, if you are Mexican, you got problems. Second of all, Ruiz against Joshua, it's... people are not like he says, people are saying, well, Joshua was a manufactured star. I don't think you can be a manufactured store and beat all the guys that he beat. I mean, if you want to make the argument that there's asterisks next to all his big wins, okay, maybe. I think everybody has an asterisk next to their biggest wins. Or you could always make an argument that there was something fishy when this guy beat that guy. But here's the problem: Joshua did not show any signs in the early rounds against Luis that he was gonna beat him, other than the knockdown. He wasn't popping the jab the way he did against Povetkin. He wasn't controlling distance. He was missing a lot of his shots. He looked tired by about the fourth round. So
A phone call.
oh, we got a phone call.
Yeah, you don't beat Anthony Joshua. Sorry, you don't beat all them guys that Anthony Joshua's beat if you can't fight. This kid,
That's right.
Anthony Joshua, can fight. Seriously, he's a very good fighter, but his mind went off the game. And boxing is, like I said, 75% mentally. You can have all the talent in the world, you can have all the muscle in the world, but if your mind's not on the game, it's somewhere else. Then don't be surprised when you're waking up with a ref above your head. Do you know what I mean? So this is the problem with Joshua. Got too arrogant, got too comfortable, started looking ahead. I mean, he was looking at it. Did he actually? But I don't even think he spoke about Ruiz. He spoke in the build-up. All he talked about was Tyson Fury and Wilder. He never mentioned Ruiz.
Yeah.
It was like he had no respect for this kid whatsoever. And it's went in there, thought all he had to do was land on shot and Ruiz was going to fall over. Do you honestly think? I mean, this guy, if he knew anything about boxing, you could fucking drag up a Mexican fucking bin man, and he's not going to do that. He's going to go out on his sword. You don't have to be that's how they are. That's a culture thing. This guy's a clown if he thought he was going to go in there and just stick one on Ruiz, and Ruiz is going to fall over and curl up in a ball like Martin did and all them other fucking clowns. He's never going to do that.
Stu, before we continue, let's just take let's go for the phone call.
To blame for choosing
Pucho, can you hear me? Bucho, can you hear me?
Go on, BDA.
Yeah, just
BDA,
real
go ahead,
quick.
there's a phone call, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Real quick, 510. You're on the air. 5110.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Is this Rasclot?
This is Ross Clot 222, 49-0 in debates and 49-0 in predictions.
That's right. That's right. Rascal always willing to go against anybody except H Money, who was here earlier calling you out.
Oh, I don't need. See, here's where you guys got it wrong. I'm the franchise champion in debates. I don't have to debate him.
All right.
What'd you say it was 49-0 for both debates and predictions?
He's really
49-0.
He's really 50-0. He's really 50-0.
So let's talk about AJ. Gonzalez said he was tired of, I don't know if it was Stu or Gonzalo said that he's tired of AJ and his excuses. But AJ never came up with excuses. It was the fans.
No,
AJ
it's not AJ, it's the fans.
Acknowledged that he lost. AJ had no problem with the loss. The people came up with the excuses. The fans came up with the excuses.
You're right about
AJ.
that. You're right about that.
And then number two, Stu said, oh, he was taking pictures, he was smiling. If he would have cried like a bitch, you guys would have criticized him for that. This is his first time losing. The way he reacted to the loss was, I'm gonna be humble and I'm gonna go on the next one. If he cried
It's corny as
and
fuck.
acted like a bitch,
It's corny
and
as
I
fuck.
wasn't supposed to lose, you guys will be making a video about him crying. Y'all know it.
That's Clark. If you come on this show, right, and you start being humble and all polite, I'm going to sit around and go, Rascal, you're corny as fuck. Because it's not you. You like to be loud and Bruce, all sorts of things, but that's you. You're being yourself, and I like that. But if you come on here pretending to be humble and pretending to speak the Queen's English all polite, I'd think, what a corny motherfucker. And this is the thing with Joshua. He's just not being himself. Simple as.
But Stu, when
go and ask the guys in London
when
and the
Anthony
Watford that
Joshua
know.
was never humble. Tell me a time when he was never humble.
Point.
I didn't hear.
Yeah, but humble's not always gonna make you the fighter that you need to be. It's good to be humble. Yeah.
Can I answer that question?
No. I'm not talking about the fight part. I'm talking about his personality, which is what you guys are attacking. Tell me when was the time where he wasn't humble.
Can I answer that?
Go ahead, apology. Go ahead.
Well, one time, the Dinner White interview, Dinner White talked about him and his attitude. And there was another time during the Dominic Brazil where they had a face-off outside in like the garden.
Yeah.
And Joshua, mind changed. You could see he was getting frustrated with Dominic Brazil, and he showed his true colors then.
Yes, but
Let
okay,
me
but
agree,
he was talking
apology.
shit,
But the
and
thing
he
is,
was in his face.
I think we saw it.
What is he supposed to do?
What we're saying is, right, Josh can be
Mhm.
like that. I'd rather him be like that, to be honest with you. I'd rather Joshua just be himself than this cornball. And there's time and time again, because when you pretend to be something,
Mhm.
you're gonna slip up now and again. Your true colours will pop out here and there, and he showed it. He's made, especially the
Mhm.
Eddie Chambers that we made to him, and other things, and the way he was with Brazil and Dillian White. You know, this guy's got a nasty streak in him. Trust me.
Hey,
And
let me ask. Let me say this. Let me say this.
But
I got a question for Raskler. Raskler, what about when Anthony Joshua? I can't swear, but essentially did the hanky panky with Amir Khan's wife. Does not the Bible say marriage should be honored
yeah,
by
but
all and the
that
marriage
was
bed
like
kept pure?
I don't know about that. If Anthony Joshua and Amir Khan like the same man, that's on them. I can't answer that question.
Wait a minute. Wait
She's
a
a
minute.
woman. Come
Yeah.
on, she's a woman.
But let me
I-
tell you this. But let's say this though. If you guys look at Anthony Joshua's resume, he's fighting pretty much pretty good competition back to back. Eventually, when you fight good competition, you will lose. If you're fighting guys like the people that Wilder is fighting, of course you're going to be on top and undefeated. At some point,
That's
when
a
you're
great
fighting
point.
tough fights, you will lose.
It's a great point, Ruscott. That is a great point. And this is
And
the thing
and
with
and,
Joshua.
and
This is why I've always backed Joshua, fighting wise. Right now, we're talking about him being fake, but that's another topic. Fighting wise, I think he's very good, and I think he's
yeah,
fought very good competition. And you don't become a three
yeah,
belt world champion in 20 odd fights if you can't fight. When you beat
right,
Vladimir Klitschko, Parker, and all the Povetkin, he's very, very good fighter. It's just that the way he lost. I mean, there's losing and there's just
yeah,
falling to pieces like
yeah,
some amateur. And that's the alarming thing for me. I
yeah.
mean, if he'd have got knocked out like Lennox Lewis did, then so be it. That happens, heavyweight boxing. But the way he was
Yeah,
falling around and looking at his he just
I
looked a
got you.
shadow of the. You know what I mean?
I got you. I mean, yeah, I totally
Well,
agree. I totally agree with you. But my thing is this: at the end of the day, us diehard fans, everybody in the chat, we all knew that Ruiz was a hard fight. Those other people, those LDBC guys, and all those Wilder fans, they're the ones who didn't know who Ruiz was. So that's the reason why he got all this backlash and other. Somebody like us, Ruiz is a hard fight for any freaking heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be real. Ross Clyde here, I'm gonna say it. He's not gonna lose. He's not gonna win the rematch. Ruiz is gonna win the rematch, no matter if it's in the UK, Mexico, Tijuana, wherever. Ruiz is still gonna win. Period. Because it's a style clash. He cannot be Ruiz.
Well, that's what I.
See,
That's what I.
I don't agree with that. I believe there's always a way to beat someone. I mean, style. Yes, I do believe some styles are worse for fighters than other styles, but there's always a way to get the win. It was just that Joshua just didn't have any
Right.
plan B. There was no plan C. I doubt Joshua even
Right.
had a plan A on that night. All his plan was turn up,
Yeah.
stick one on the button of Andy Ruiz, collect his check, and go after
Yeah.
Wilder and Fury. He
Yep.
didn't think of
Yeah.
Ruiz
I
once,
agree.
and that was his
I
downfall.
agree. I agree 100%.
Do you think
Now,
it would have been different if he fought Miller? Do you think he had a plan for Miller, and then when Ruiz came around, he got like lackadaisical about it?
Baby Miller
Well,
does
the
the
thing is,
same thing to him.
Yeah,
I
That
would
night.
say no
well,
different.
the
really.
thing is,
He was
well,
doomed from the
Would have
start.
done the
well, the
same
thing
I
thing
is
don't
to
with
him
think so.
Miller.
that night. He would have done.
I
Trust me.
disagree with that.
Listen, he's
Well,
got work
let's
Me
rate
just
and
say
too.
he's
this though.
strong, and that's all you need that night. That night, Joshua turned up. You just had to be strong. You had to have decent work rate, land a couple on the button, job done. And that's how poor Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
Baby Miller would have done the same thing to Anthony Joshua on that night. I'm not saying it on another night. On that night he turned up, it would have been the same result. Trust me on.
In a way,
The
you're
reason
right,
why
Stu. I believe.
Uh,
But here is the thing with Andy Ruiz. He caught him at the right time where he reacted, and he caught him with that overhand. I believe it was a left shot to the temple on the top of the head.
to the
That was
temple
a deciding
temple.
factor where he put him on Queer Street. If it weren't for that punch, Anthony Joshua was in the fight.
yeah,
So it was a
exactly.
matter of timing,
Yeah.
and yeah, he took advantage of the situation where Andy Ruiz was pushed to a point where he got knocked down and got off the canvas. He reacted in such a manner
Yeah.
that he was able to land the right shot at the right time to
Yeah,
kind of
but
have
no,
the tide turn into his favor.
No, let Rascal say something. Because, But finish.
Well, does he have to go then or something?
I think so. Yeah, Rascal,
Can't he
you
just,
always
but can't he just get involved with the conversation?
I don't know because usually he has
Or
to
does he have
bounce
to go?
after.
Oh, does he? Is there a time limit
Yeah,
on this
usually.
one?
Rascal,
Can
do
you
you
hear me?
need to bounce or what? Because you usually need to bounce pretty quickly.
Oh no, what I was saying is, I think with the Miller fight, I don't think it would have been a different outcome because I think it would have been a different outcome because Miller, first of all, is not even a big puncher, and Ruiz is way faster than him and way stronger than him. The only thing Miller got is weight, and he's not a big puncher for his size at all. I think AJ would wash him.
Yeah, I don't think he is either.
You guys are getting it wrong. That's what I'm saying. You didn't have to be fucking lightning hand speed that night. You didn't have to be special. All you had to do was turn up, be strong, and throw a few shots. Joshua,
Well, he was winning the fight. He was winning the fight, Stu.
On the
So
night,
he
the
knocked
same
him
shit would have
down.
happened, but
Hold on,
Ruiz
guys.
is
Hold
a
on,
hard
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Everybody's getting,
Hold on, hold on.
everybody's getting, everybody.
Hang on a minute.
Everybody, guys, come on. It's getting a
He
little
was
bit too
winning
crazy.
the fight for about 10 seconds and he got clipped and it turned around completely. I mean, are we really going to get excited about the rest of the fight was even?
Okay.
Yeah, but if it weren't for that
here's the point
overhand
that you guys are
shot, then a sudden, fast, quick punch, he wouldn't have got staggered to where, he was kind of hesitant to fight the rest of the
He was
fight.
beaten. You're not getting my point. He was beaten before he got in the ring.
Well, listen. Here's my.
So what's that Ruiz or
Joshua was a
guys.
beaten man before he got in the ring. Look how he fell to pieces.
Here's the problem, though. Here's the problem, though.
But you know what he was
Here's the
being?
problem.
If he would have
Gonzalo, hold
known
on.
that Jarrell Miller would have been there in
hold
the
on.
opposite corner.
Gonzalo.
Gonzalo.
Jeez.
Yes. Hold on.
Listen, here's the problem, though. First of all, the problem is everybody's talking over each other. Second of all, I understand Apology's point when he says Miller would have been too slow for Joshua, but I can also kind of see what Stu's saying because after Joshua dropped Ruiz and after Ruiz dropped him in the same round, Joshua just seemed out of gas. I mean, even the round prior to the stoppage, he was already stumbling around out of gas. Yeah, go ahead, Rascal. What do you want to say?
No, but BDA. But leading up to the fight, everything changed when Miller tested positive. So everything changed from that point. If he never tested positive, Anthony Joshua's training and his dieting and everything would have all fallen into place leading up to the fight. So we can't say that it would have been the same circumstances.
Go ahead, Stu.
My point was the Joshua that turned up that night. I didn't say any Anthony Joshua was going to lose to Baby because I had Joshua winning that fight.
Okay.
That Joshua that turned up that night,
I got you.
like BDA said, he had no tank. So what's the big thing? His biggest asset, Baby Miller, is he got a big tank. He throws a lot of punches and he comes forward. That would have been his worst nightmare, Anthony Joshua, because he just didn't have any stamina. No pop on his punches. The snap went. He got clipped with some half decent shot, shall we say? And he fell to pieces after that. His legs had gone, and Baby Miller would have stopped him.
What I'm saying is,
I agree. I agree to
in
that.
my heart. Go ahead, wrestler.
Go ahead, Gonzalo.
No, I'm just saying I agree with Stu to that. I understand what he's meaning now. I agree with Stu. Hey, guys, I got to go. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for having me on. And Andre Ward is still at ATG. Peace.
All right.
Peace, Rascal.
Hey, by the way, before Gonzalo continues, in the chat, somebody said it was Walter Morrison. He says, no, Stu, Joshua lost the fight getting clipped. Only Ruiz would have clipped him. So there you go.
I'll tell you what, mate. If Deontay Wilder had clipped him, he'd still be asleep now. So get out of here. Only Ruiz would clip him. Oh, all of a sudden, Ruiz is the heavyweight Canelo. All of a sudden, then he fucking joking.
No, well, to me, we can't downgrade Ruiz's abilities, but like what I'm saying is that Anthony Joshua, in his heart of hearts, maybe if he knew that was Jarrell Miller on the opposite corner, he would have been more confident. But kind of like the Mike Tyson effect, when you knew that Mike Tyson was stepping into the ring, you kind of weren't the same guy, and you kind of already gave up before the fight started. I'm not saying that Andy Ruiz is like Mike Tyson, but what I'm saying that in Anthony Joshua, in his heart of hearts, he realized that that Andy Ruiz wasn't the same guy as Jarrell Miller, being Andy Ruiz the better fighter, and he kind of realized that he was, I'm gonna say, out of his element.
Listen, Andy Ruiz, did Ruiz do anything that Baby Miller would have done? I keep hearing about this lightning hand speed that Andy Ruiz got. I mean, that's fucking lightning.
he had a lot of amateur fights. Stu, he
mean-
had a lot of amateur fights.
You know what?
Stu,
He lost like
the only
8
thing-
times.
How about this?
But-
Do you think Miller would have responded to getting knocked down the way that Ruiz did?
A good point.
I don't think so.
Hey, you know what, guys?
Baby
Let's
Miller
get
has
let's
a lot of
get
point in
let's
him.
get let's
You
get
ever seen Baby
recognizing
Miller
here.
have?
Let's get recognizing here because he's been on hold for a while. Recognize, are you there?
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can also hear
All
the
right.
the streets of Manhattan in the background.
Really?
A little bit. Anyway, listen.
A little bit.
We're having this heated discussion about whether Joshua has a shot against Ruiz in the rematch, and why we're even the subject of contention here seems to be why is Joshua all of a sudden being written off as a guy that was a hype job?
Yeah. I don't understand I don't understand this total distrust for Joshua. I guess I kind of, but Joshua had a lot of success in the first 3 rounds. That's why he dropped him. Now he ended up getting fucked up. So, look, I like Andy Ruiz. He's a good fighter, but I definitely give Joshua a good chance of beating him in the rematch. I think he's capable of not only beating him, stopping him as well.
It's just funny. It's just funny of the fanboys in the chat. All of a sudden, they're Ruiz fanboys. I mean, 6 months ago, the guy was never fucking mentioned. He might as well have been a fucking nomad with no land to fucking claim. Because no one, especially the Mexicans, they know how to jump on a dick. The Mexicans, don't they? God damn.
Oh, now wait a minute.
But to Stu's point, look, I'm not saying, that I don't give Ruiz a chance. But I would pick Anthony Joshua to beat him in a rematch, especially if they're going to fight in the UK. Okay, if the fight's going to happen over there, I'm picking Joshua to beat him. Joshua already showed that he could beat him. Had he clipped him in the right spot, he could have. There's a good chance Ruiz doesn't get back up. Okay, but he did, and he took advantage, smart of him, of Joshua's aggressiveness, and made him pay for it and kept him hurt, which is smart, which is, to me, a sign of a good boxer. Not only that I hurt you, I'm going to keep you hurt. But all these assumptions that, he would have lost to anybody that night, okay, if he comes in like that, I totally agree. But let's take into account that he was supposed to fight Baby Miller. Maybe that kind of threw him off getting ready for a guy like Ruiz. And, something that was brought to my attention, Ruiz was the last resort of pick. They didn't want him in the beginning. They were trying to go through a bunch of other guys. And I guess at the time they were like, no. Luis Ortiz was one of them. And they said, all right, fuck it, man. The only person we could pick left was Ruiz. Okay? So it's not like
Ruiz said he sent a fucking Instagram message.
Right. But here's my point, Revolution. He didn't sleep on Ruiz. That was his last pick. He said Ruiz for whatever reason. Okay, he said, all right, look, man, let's get Ruiz in there because everybody else is like fucking. And Ruiz went in there, and he wasn't ready for that. Now, if he comes into the second fight confident, knowing what Ruiz is capable of doing, fights discipline, of course he could beat Ruiz in a rematch. I'm not saying he definitely will. I would pick him. But Ruiz is not this next coming king. He would have to prove that, okay?
But here's the thing about Ruiz. After you finish your point.
Okay, listen. Ruiz is a very good fighter, Gonzalo. Nobody's saying that he's not. He's very good. But he's not a world record, meaning nobody has a shot to beat him.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't shown that ever in his career. He's never shown in his career, there's me, and then there's the rest of the heavyweight division. Okay? No, these guys can touch him. And if they can touch him, they can beat him. Okay? It's all about applying the right tactic. Of course he's going to be tough. If you think you're going to knock him down and he's not going to get back up, you're crazy. Okay? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But let's not make him out to be
a monster.
There's Andy Ruiz, and then there's the weak heavyweight division. No. That's not
But
the
here's
case
the
here.
thing. Here's the thing. Okay, Andy Ruiz is definitely beatable because I mean, people are against him. Andy Ruiz is the fat guy. He's now the unified champ that's never gotten credit. So in the same time, he's still the underdog that has something to prove. And that's what I'm saying. On a good night, yeah, Anthony Joshua can show up and beat him and deliver a good fight. But Andy Ruiz is not satisfied with the fact that he won the 3 titles. Not yet, because he's still not given the credit. And although he's got maybe flaws, and people can stylistically beat him, he still has something to prove where he's not gotten the full recognition and credit by the mainstream, and they're still ridiculing him, that he's still a live underdog, even in the championship position.
All right, now with that
BDA,
being said,
we have
yeah,
phone calls.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We got phone calls. Let's go to the phone lines right away. 929, you're on the air. 929.
What's up, guys?
Yes,
Can you hear
hello.
me?
Yeah, caller. Please identify yourself.
Okay. Yeah, it's Richard also, and I just want to talk about the Instagram model, Anthony
Absolutely.
Joshua.
Uh-huh.
I don't understand. Like, I kind of agree with last two callers. I think was it Raslat who said that the whole Baby Miller getting suspended changed his training method, and he's kind of right. I mean, I just didn't understand why after a suspended fighter, is removed from competing, why would you treat your training camp like it's a vacation? He went to Miami, Florida. He didn't even train in New York like he was supposed to, in my opinion. He didn't even went to the Fifth Street Gym where Muhammad Ali trained. That's also strange. It was for him. It was just the Anthony Joshua USA tour. That's all it was. And
Yeah.
I think the thing is he looked past Andy Ruiz. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it, because he was thinking ahead to the super fight, the mega fight with Deontay Wilder, or Tyson Fury, whichever he picks, he chooses. I felt he had, this A-side privilege, but that got taken away. He has the tool sets, to be a good, heavyweight champion. He has, he has good power. He has good technique, but he has a limited gas tank. And Ruiz basically exploited that, because once he got knocked down, I just felt that Joshua was going to jump on him, and just like that, he blew his load, and that changed the fight. That's something he has to stay away from. Like, I think we talked about this, a couple months ago, and he's like, he doesn't have to impress the crowd. I know it's his US debut, but he doesn't have to be a flash knockout artist like Wilder. I think he succumbed to that pressure, and that kind of coincides with what Stu said, that he kind of just wilted under the pressure of being in the United States and trying to show off the fans. He was he was basically playing up to the crowd, and that's something you cannot do. I don't care if the guy is a bum, or if Andrew Ruiz is not a world beater, but he still has serious tools. He has fast hands. Yes, he's not a mover, but yes, he can bang it to the body. He can bang on the inside. Something that Joshua had a problem with smaller fighters.
That's a good point.
Who was it? Yeah.
Well, like it's Dylan White.
That's the point I'm trying to get. That's the point I'm trying to get. When I think people are getting the wrong idea when I say Baby Miller would beats Joshua, because Joshua's a far better fighter than Baby Miller. When that fight was announced, I said Joshua beats Miller up quite bad. But on that night, the way he turned up, he doesn't beat anyone in that top 10, and that's how bad he was. I know he dropped Ruiz. I mean, he caught Ruiz with a shot. Let's be real. It was a good shot. It was, but Ruiz.
BDA, can I ask Virtual also a question?
You stop interrupting Gonzalo, man.
Yeah, but I gotta ask you a question.
I think there's a bit of a delay between. I think there's a bit of delay in England and in the Philippines. That's why Hangouts. I mean, Discord is a little better, but it's not perfect. All right, so Stu.
No, but I gotta ask you a question after Stuart's done.
Okay, when Stu's done, we'll get to Gonzalo's question. Virtuoso will respond, and then we gotta get another caller. All right, so Stu, finish
that
your
was
point.
just my point. That night, I just don't think he beats anyone in the top 10. And Wrong that. No, that was not the Anthony Joshua we used to. But I go by the last performance. I'm not going to start bringing up performances against Klitschko and all them and Dillian White and start saying that's what he's going to do against Ruiz. I mean, I go by the last performance, and that's why Ruiz will probably. I'm 50-50 with it. Depends where it is.
All right. So I guess we'll have to see where the rematch takes place, and before we can start making predictions. All right, Gonzalo, go ahead. Ask your question, please, to Virtuoso.
Yeah, real fast. To Virtuoso. Okay, take away the punching power from Anthony Joshua and from Andy Ruiz. Who do you have picking in a boxing match with equal power? If we're gonna say we're just gonna box, amateur style for 3 or 4 rounds, who's gonna box who? Anthony Joshua or Andy Ruiz? Take away the power, just the same hand speed, the same boxing style, stylistically matched up between the two, but with no power or equal power. Who wins the fight?
Yeah, but that's like me saying if I chopped.
No, but who wins the fight? Who wins the fight? Who's gonna box who? Who's gonna box who? Take away the power. I'm not discrediting Andy Ruiz's power, and I'm not minimizing Joshua's superior punching power.
Power doesn't win you fights.
The
no,
question
it
was
does not.
Virtuoso.
But I'm saying box for boxing, boxing wise, boxing brain, boxing ability. Point.
I think Ruiz is the smart.
I still think Joshua.
I think Ruiz is the smart
No,
boxer.
Ruiz is the better boxer. Ruiz is the better boxer.
The question.
He's not.
I think AJ.
Hold on, guys. Don't make me mute. Guys, the question was for Virtuoso. So let's get to Virtuoso before he has to go, because we do have other callers as well. Virtuoso, did you hear the question?
Okay, so yes, I heard the question. I think to me it kind of boils down to physicality. Anthony Joshua is taller, so that means he has more leverage, right?
Supposedly, yeah.
I agree with
so
Virtuoso.
So I would take Anthony Joshua in that situation.
Yeah, I would
because
too.
if we're talking,
I would take him.
then,
I would take him
You would know better than to keep.
What about the whole robot? Stiff that he
inside
can't throw as loosely as maybe Andy Ruiz.
Keep his long reach, stiff jab in his face. He wins the fight.
Stiff jab, but he can't tie up, and his jab is not as proficient as we might think.
You said take away the power.
Gonzalo.
You said take away the power. Right. So okay, take away the power.
Well, I'm also taking. I'm not minimizing Anthony Ruiz's superior power to Andy Ruiz's fast hands that generate power as well.
Okay,
I'm
but
just
you
saying
got
tit for tat.
Yeah, but you got. Then again, it's hard to take away the power aspect. The power aspect. Look, if it was you said an amateur fight, what I would tell, look, it's not a disrespect towards Andy Ruiz. I'll be like, look, you're 6'6", he's 6'1". Stick your fucking long jab in his face. That's it. Stick your long jab.
How many times have we said that the super heavyweights are here to stay and they're taking over? We always had throughout these generations that the smaller guys have proved to be game and kind of rule the division, aside from Lennox Lewis and not Vitaly, but Vladimir, who had an exceptional jab and was able to tie you up when the going got rough. So when has the big heavyweights ever taken over?
Ruiz is not Mike Tyson, where he can neutralize shit like that. He is not Mike Tyson. At least listen, Gonzalo, I haven't seen him to the point where he's like, look, doesn't matter how tall you are. I have unbelievable inside game speed that I can neutralize that. Look,
the speed is there. Ruiz obviously got off from the canvas, so there's 2 points.
I've seen Ruiz get beat up. I thought he won the fight, but I've seen Ruiz get beat up in rounds. Joseph Parker comes to mind. Joseph Parker won rounds against and there was some of the rounds where he was actually beating him up. Okay,
all right, you know what? Let me get
to fight against Andy Ruiz. And
let me get to one of our other callers, please, because we got one caller who's been on the line for 10 minutes. All right, 585, you're on the air. 585.
Yes, this is Vince.
Oh, Vincent, how you doing, baby?
Welcome aboard, Vince.
I'm doing good.
Hey, can we call you Vinny Boy? Yo, Vinny, it's Vinny Boy.
That's
Go ahead.
Call me Vinny Mac. Doesn't matter.
Vinny Virus.
It doesn't matter to me. All I know
Vinny Virus.
All I know is Wilder knocks out all these thugs. That's all I know.
Well, can I ask you something then? If Wilder knocks out, if they're bums, what does that make Wilder? He's just the one eye, the guy with the one eye in the
Wilder
Kingdom of
is
the Blind.
Bumbleclot.
You said who?
Rusk.
Wilder, soon to be franchise champion. That's what he is.
But if they're bums, that's mean he's like the one-eyed king, right? He's the one-eyed king in the Kingdom of the Blind. Is that a good, great accomplishment, or
Is he forgetting about
Hey,
Bermain
he's the best out of the
Stavern one?
bunch.
Is he
Was
forgetting
it-
about that?
You know, Glass Chin, Anthony Joshua over there. You know, overrated, but you know, I have respect for him. You know, at least he's humble.
he calls them bums? He calls them bums, and then he says he has respect for them. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think Andy. No, go ahead.
You gotta have any
Yeah,
boy.
keep talking. Keep talking.
Ah,
So you
Jesus,
guys
come
gonna
on.
Call me Vinny Boy from now on.
No, well, Vinny. What did you say, Vince Clock? Did you say
Vinny
Vince?
Virus.
Vinny Virus. Yeah,
Virus.
Vinny Virus.
I call you Jacko. Go ahead.
Oh, come on. Now wait a minute. That's
Well,
over the
Vinny
line.
Virus.
That's over the line. That's
How
over
you
the
doing,
line.
Recognize?
Can this guy like get to a point?
Yes, that's a good point. Apology. All right, so Vinny, we got other calls. Come on. You said they're bums. What else?
Okay. Yeah. I think Andy Ruiz should make Anthony Joshua come to the States. You know, he's the money grab now. You know, because he beat Anthony Joshua. Joshua came to Brooklyn. It's supposed to be a showcase fight, and he got whooped. He got embarrassed. You know, it happens. You know, so. I say, you know, Andy Ruiz calls the shots. You know, he doesn't want to go to the UK because he feels like Eddie Hearn's going to rob him. Hey, you know what? Kudos to him. I agree.
Well, you've obviously never signed a
But
contract in your life.
I'll call back. I'll call
You've
back
signed.
and
You've never
argue
signed a
with you guys
contract in your life, have you? Never. I mean, let's be real. You probably haven't got a business brain on you either. Do you know what I mean? It's just you can't agree to a fight, sign a contract, and then back out of a deal. It just don't work like that. That's why they have these deals. Andrew Ruiz is a multi-millionaire now, thanks to that fight. So the least he can do is give a rematch. Every champion that's lost has got a rematch. So why does Andy Ruiz all of a sudden and do what he wants? I mean, if he wants to pull out, fair enough. Give the belts
in his
back.
ear.
Give the belts back and go and fight
He's
Wilder
the
for
cat
$2
cow,
million.
baby. He's the cat cow.
Cash
Heyman
cow,
is in his ear.
my backside. This guy's never A-sided a pay-per-view in his life. How is this guy a cash
He's
cow?
the cash cow. He's the cow.
This guy's
man.
never top.
He's the cow now, yeah.
This
He's
guy,
the cow.
this guy has to go
Cow
to-
with cash.
this guy has to go to New Zealand. This guy had to go to fucking New Zealand because no one gave a flying toss about him in America.
All I have
Get
to
out of
say
here,
is,
man. 4 on the list of
all
Joshua's.
hail
Josh,
Al Heyman. That's all I have to say. All
All right.
hail Al Heyman.
man,
All right,
Joshua was
thank you.
picking. He was trying to drag Frank Bruno back before he wanted to fight Ruiz. I mean,
All
get
right.
out of here.
All right,
BDA,
listen,
go ahead.
Vinny Mac. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for calling in, Vinny Mac. We got another call, so we'll catch you on the next one. All right.
Yeah, we'll see you later, buddy. Bye.
All right. Take it easy. That was.
All right, recognize. I'm waiting for that debate.
Yeah, goodbye.
All right. That was Vinny Boy on the line. By the way, recognize. Recognize.
I
You
like
gotta
Vinny
treat.
Boy. I like Vinny
recognize.
Boy. I'm kidding.
You gotta treat. Come on. You gotta treat our callers with a little bit more respect.
No, I
this
apologize. I apologize.
Yeah. Come on.
That's fine.
By the
Did
way,
you
John
say he
Gonzalez.
was waiting for recognized steak?
By the way, John Gonzalez. Yeah, that's true. John Gonzalez was calling
That's a
him.
bit gay.
John
That's a
Gonzalez
bit
was.
gay, bro.
John Gonzalez was calling him H.I. Vince. So that's another nickname that we could have there in the.
Just having fun with Vince. I'm just having fun with you, bro. Okay.
All right.
That's all.
8
I
4.
apologize. Though.
That's okay. 480. You're on the line. 480.
Yeah.
Yes. Caller, you wanna identify yourself?
Why hate for Deontay Wilder? He's a great fighter.
All right. First of all, you gotta identify yourself. Whether if you don't give yourself a nickname, we're gonna have to give you one, and it might not be pretty. So.
Go by Black Boxing Fan.
Black boxing fan. All right.
Welcome aboard, Black Boxing Fan.
That wasn't me, by the way. That was
Yeah.
Revolution. That wasn't me. I'm not the announcer guy. All right. So what did you want to say? Yeah. All right. Black boxing fan. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. No, he's still there. Yeah. Go ahead. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I think Deontay Wilder is bringing back the heavyweight division. It was boring before, but I know you guys don't like him, but he's exciting. He brings what people want, knockouts. And I know you guys say that he only fights bums, but you got to think about it. He doesn't have an amateur background.
Mhm.
So in the beginning,
That's no
you just
excuse.
throw him out to the fire.
Well, listen, I have given
Anthony
him.
Joshua don't have an amateur background. Anthony
That's
Joshua
no
went on
exactly
now
no
about
excuse.
17 fights.
That's why
There's no
he
excuse.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, I agree with the caller, with Black Boxing Fan. I think Wilder is bringing excitement. I mean, listen, without him, this heavyweight division would be a little bit less exciting. We got some intriguing matchups because of him. The only point of contention I have, Black Boxing Fan, is that Wilder does knock people out, but depending on who he's in there with, the build up to the knockout can be very boring. You know, like look at the Gerald Washington fight, look at large parts of the Luis Ortiz fight. If guys don't go to him or they're defensively respectable, oh, and Spielke too, Wilder doesn't really know what to do. Even the Fury fight was boring if you take away the two knockdowns.
Yeah. But would you say a fight between him and Joshua will be boring?
No, I've said that before. I think it would be a very exciting fight because of the fact that I think anybody can go at any time. I think if Joshua clips Wilder, I think he can take him out. And obviously, if Wilder clips Joshua, oof, he could certainly lay him the fuck out.
I think that's what makes Wilder exciting because he's so vulnerable himself, but also very dangerous. So when you got fighters like that, like someone's going to sleep, whether it's him or his opponent, and I think that's what gets you excited for Wilder fights. That's why I continue to watch him, even though I don't like him, because there's just something about Wilder. You're either going to see someone get KO'd in devastating fashion, or you could see him get caught with a shot and him fucking holding on for dear life and falling all over the place like he did against Ortiz, because he's very vulnerable, Wilder. People forget that. People seem to think because Wilder seems he gets out of a lot of trouble because probably go on the back foot and get clipped as they're going backwards in straight lines. He's so unorthodox with his defense or then his holding. He's just grabbing you by the neck and he's fucking and he just gives himself sort of time to recover.
Yeah.
And if you get what I'm trying to say, but that's what makes him exciting.
He's like a Manuel Augustus with power. It's like fucking everywhere, but when he hits you, it's like he looks like he's right about to lose. Like he's the drunken master, like the real drunken master.
Drunken.
Actually, he's like an Amir Khan. He's like an Amir Khan with.
I was going to say Amir Khan too in a reverse way. Yeah.
Yeah, with like just tremendous power.
He's not as chilly as Khan. He's not as chilly as Khan, but he's as vulnerable as Khan. When someone, let's be real, how many big punches has Wilder fought?
Not that many. Yeah, not that many.
Yeah.
Ask that to a caller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black Boxing Fans.
Go ahead.
How many big punchers do you think Wilder's fought?
Luis King Kong Ortiz.
That's one.
I guess so. But
I don't consider
strong
him a big
counter.
puncher.
He's not a big puncher. He's not a big puncher.
He does have power. I'll give you that.
Yeah, he knocked anyone out recently. This is a guy that went 12 rounds with Malik Scott. Dave Allen went about fucking 8-9 rounds with him, didn't he?
Exactly.
Fucking Christian Hammer recently.
Disgraceful.
So, this guy, who was the other guy who he fought? The American guy, the white dude who came to survive. What was his name again? Recently, Kaufman, Travis Kaufman.
Yeah. You're talking about
terrible fight. He went the distance. He went the fucking distance of Ortiz. Ortiz is knocking nobody out. So I can't really.
Hey, Black Fight Fan, how do you feel about him fighting Ortiz in a rematch, Wilder?
I think he's going to win
What do
this
you
one,
think?
but in more demanding fashion. That makes sense.
Let me ask you another question. Do you feel like he should have fought Ruiz next or somebody like Dillian White?
He would destroy Dillian White. Dillian White.
Okay, I'm
beat
not
Oscar
asking you.
Rivas when he was
Wait,
on
time
film.
out, Black Fight Fan. I'm not asking you, Doc, about whether you think he'll destroy him or not. I think he'll beat him too. Who would you have preferred him to fight? Ortiz, a guy he already knocked out, or Dillian White, the number one contender? The number one contender, Dillian White. Who would you like to see him fight?
Well, I think Ortiz is a tougher challenge.
Okay,
Even if it is a
that's all.
rematch.
For me, I would prefer him to fight Dillian White, his number one contender. a guy he's never fought before. I think a guy that if he beats him, which I would pick him to win, it looks good under his resume. That's just my opinion.
So you don't care the fact that he got caught PEDs?
I'm sorry.
To me, Deontay Wilder is not a destroyer. He's not a destroyer. The two abilities that has shown that kind of puts him on a higher level for me that he's proved lately is the fact that he can lean back and create some separation with his long arms to where he's also patient to land his big shot. But he's not going to go in there and beat you up through the course of 12 rounds like a Dillian White that's going to hurt you. His best thing to bank on is his power, where he's being patient and creates that separation to land that big shot. But if somebody could go in there and neutralize that right hand, he's going to get outboxed just like he did against Molina, just against Spilka, just against he did against Washington, just like he did in moments against Luis Ortiz, and just how he lost the fight to Tyson Fury. But the fact that he's got that power, which I'm not knocking and I'm not discrediting, and that's what makes him so good. But if you can neutralize that right hand, you can outbox this guy. But his neutralizer has proved to be so good that that's what's the racer. But what I'm saying, he doesn't go in there destroying you because he's gonna beat you up from pillar to post. He's gonna destroy you because he's gonna time you. He's gonna be patient, create that separation with his length, and he's gonna land their right hand.
All right, let the caller respond. Hold on, let the caller. Black Boxing Fan, go ahead.
Yeah,
you want to respond to that?
That's the thing about the heavyweight division. You can't run around the ring like.
Oh, he's down.
Yeah. You're gonna get.
Go ahead.
You're gonna get caught by the.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear.
What the fuck was that?
I didn't hear your answer. Go ahead.
Never mind. Let the caller
let the caller
finish.
finish. I want to hear his answer, man. Come on. All right, sorry, Black Boxing Fan. Go ahead. You want to repeat that because you cut off a little bit there.
A little bit.
I was saying that's the thing about the heavyweight division. You can't run around the ring like in the lighter divisions. You're gonna get caught by the right hand eventually.
That's a good point.
And Wilder has the strongest right hand.
Damn, that was loud. Sorry about that. That's our donation alert. Which, by the way, we missed 2 donation alerts. All right, Butcher, you.
I got him. I'll read them later.
Later. Okay.
Can you hear me?
No.
Yeah, we're taking a fucking phone call, Johnny boy. What's the matter with you, man?
I want to make sure this shit was working.
It's working, baby. We got you. Don't worry about it.
It's working, Johnny. It's working.
No decorum this
All right,
kid.
let the caller finish his point. God damn it. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, he was saying that as long as you neutralize the right hand, you'll be fine against Wilder. But the thing is, in the heavyweight division, guys get hit. You can't just run around like in the ring like the lighter divisions.
That's a good point.
Eventually, you will get caught by the right. And I think Wilder's the strongest puncher in boxing history, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Who hits harder than Wilder?
Oh, well, in the history of boxing?
Mike Tyson, George Foreman, Ernie Shavers, Lennox Lewis, Vladimir Klitschko, Vitaly Klitschko. Yeah, that's about it.
Oh, recognizes
David Tua.
David
Sonny
Tua,
Liston.
Sonny Liston. I mean,
Wilder has knocked nobody out. Who's he knocked out?
He's in the look. Just like anybody can make the claim he's hardest puncher, I can make the same claim. That other fighters are hit harder.
Probably Gerald McClellan or Julian Jackson.
Every great fighter, he lost.
All right,
Triple
listen,
G,
caller.
Triple G has more power.
Caller, can I ask you something though? Okay, we can go in circles about because we've already had this discussion about how he's the best puncher ever. I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Did you think the count against Tyson Fury was too long in the last round?
I'm not really sure about that, but I do think that it was a.
Hey, Mr.
draw.
BDA.
When you knocked somebody down 2 times, I feel like it was a draw, and we're going to see a rematch.
All right.
Can I just get into this power thing? Can I just get into this power?
Yeah, go ahead.
No.
I think what it is, what makes Deontay Wilder is obviously a very big puncher. I mean, you got to be stupid not to see that. But I think what it is with Wilder, a lot of his opponents, it's like anyone, when you don't see a shot coming, or you're standing square on with your fucking chin in there, your hands down, like Dominic Brazil was the other night, then Deontay Wilder is going to sleep you. But I've seen, like I said, Fury survived against him, and Fury's not a I would say Fury's got a good chin. He's been dropped numerous times. I just think with Fury, he's got very good recovery, and he's got the boxing know-how to stay out of trouble until he does recover. So I just think when you look at the big punches of the past, the guys they were fighting, they're the ones that have showed punching. When you're knocking out world-class veterans of the game and stuff, a lot of these guys at Wilder's fighting, they're not even seeing the shots coming. Their eyes. We saw Wilder sleep Spilka. We keep talking about how he slept Spilka. Dovic Chisora did it in just as good fashion the other day. Stavern as well. Joe Joyce beat up Stavern. Joe Joyce beat up Stavern just as good as
fucking Mike Mallow had Arthur Spilka flopping around like a fish.
Hey, let me tell you something. Sonny Liston knocked out Floyd Patterson. That's better than anything Wilder's done.
All right, let's a caller respond to that. Black Boxing Fan, you want to respond to that?
Yeah. So you said that Fury, but how many heavyweights have Fury's defensive responsibility? None. So if he got caught twice, you just imagine what the other guys can't avoid Wilder like he can. He's the only one in the heavyweight division that can do that.
Dude,
so the rest of the guys
are we talking all time or?
But let's be real. That was if you look at the knockdowns, it was terrible mistakes by Tyson Fury. He actually that wasn't where Wilder's done anything special. That was just Fury getting too confident, and he had his hand down. And
and then again, that's a good point by the caller. But not just because you have a good defense doesn't mean that you can keep somebody off you. Because if you have a good punch, if you put a good punch and a good hurt in on Wilder, he's not going to come at you as confidently as he did against Fury. If you can pop, that's also proves to be in your favor.
And he not only
put
that,
a big
Fury,
puncher in against Wilder. That's the whole difference.
Fury showed to be the more superior fighter because he got knocked down and both got back up and saw boxing Wilder.
Yeah.
So you could tell.
He could outbox him and everything and look cute and put on
mistakes.
a masterclass performance.
Yeah.
But if Fury is not putting enough power in his punches, well, Wilder's going to think twice about coming at him. That's pretty much what he did. He put on a masterclass performance, but he didn't really put a solid punch to where he Wilder thinking, oh, I'm not going to step into the pocket where I'm going to. And then granted, he can hit you from across the room. Wilder can. That's a virtue that he does have. And I have to give him kudos for that. And he's patient. Like I said,
it's like any punch, it's like any punch of Gonzalo, right? This is what makes the world class fighters world class. Doesn't mean they've got better chins, but they're clever fighters and they can see the shots coming. They know how to ride them. They know how to take some of the sting off, whatever. But it's the ones that you don't see, the ones that hurt you, and that's where the limited fighters come in. That's why they get knocked out when they come across Wilder, because let's be real, Wilder telegraphs his shots. You can see them coming.
It's 1-2. It's just 1-2. Yeah.
They come so quick at you sometimes, and it's because these guys are not very skilled fighters. They're just sitting there with the fucking hands down, waiting for it to land, sort of thing. And when that happens, of course, Wilder's going to knock you out. It's when someone shows a bit of movement or some sort of chin, or I think even with Wilder, I think the best way to keep Wilder off you is actually push him back and fight him. I don't think you should run for Wilder. I think you got to push him back and fight him because he can't fight on the back foot.
That's what Ortiz did.
Jab on the back foot, but he's not knocking you out on the back foot. He has to come forward, plant his feet, and land them big shots. And I just think when you push him backwards, he's fucking useless. And he doesn't have any sting in his shot, sort of thing. He's got no inside game, so he's not roughing you up on the inside with big uppercuts and body shots. So
all right.
That's the work you got to do, and I think we'll see the true Wilder. But like a lot of his opponents have gone in there, nowhere near the level it takes to keep away from Wilder.
How did Luis Ortiz hurt Wilder? A short little hook on the inside, dog.
Exactly, brother.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, bro, you can't be going like I say, you can't go in scared of the motherfucker, bro. If you go into a fight scared, bitch, you already lost as far as I'm concerned, bitch. Man, you can't be. You gotta, exactly. You gotta push that motherfucker back. You can't let him be the boss in there. You the boss.
That's right. That's a good point. I remember Daniel.
That's why Fury took over. Sorry, BDA, delayed. Sorry.
That's okay. Daniel Mariachi told me that he was a performer in California in the underground scene. And he told me, you go into a filming scene scared, Good luck trying to dig yourself out of that hole. You got to go in there with
Oh,
confidence
jeez.
that you can.
Daniel Moriarty. Fuck
That's right, Daniel Mariachi. He was
Paul
from.
Scarlett.
Was that his stage name? Was that his stage name, right?
Of course, apologies. Do you think that's you think that's his real name? I mean, come on. But yeah, he told me that.
I've heard weirder names.
Well,
And this is the thing, BDA, right? Well, Tyson Fury was actually doing. I mean, we keep hearing about how Tyson Fury was avoiding the shots and using the jab. Tyson Fury was doing his best work when he was getting in Wilder's face, pushing him back, leaning on him, roughing him up on the inside. Wilder fell to pieces. His tank emptied, you know, and why Fury didn't continue to do that, I'll never know. I mean, Fury actually sort of threw that fight, that draw.
He
He actually
gassed.
gave
He
Wilder a
gassed.
scoop draw. He threw that
He
fight away.
gassed. I
All
think
right,
he
you know what?
gassed a little bit.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Recognize. Sorry.
No, I was going to tell Stu. I think he gassed. I think the second time around, he's going to make. I think he's wrecking Wilder if they fight again. That's just my opinion, man.
I think he's gonna. I don't think. I think he's gonna take it to Wilder. I think.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how Wilder fell to pieces as soon as he started taking a few body shots on the inside. I remember Fury got to him, got close, started roughing him up, and Wilder just looked like his tank had just fucking totally emptied. And he looked like he was going to get stopped. And then all of a sudden, Fury does what he always does: get back on the back foot and give the guy a fucking breather. And it nearly cost him his fucking life in the end.
Yeah, exactly. I think you know what it was. I think he have that much gas tank, Stu. I think that this was like his first real fight with somebody who had a live chance against him, and he kind of gassed out, But I think this time around he'll be. And I don't think Wilder has much shot other than the
Recognize.
one punch KO. Go ahead.
Recognize. Do you think that was because of VADA testing? He came like 205 and he didn't look as strong as he used to.
I mean, look, that's always the case. I've said this. I like Wilder at 220 and think he's just more dangerous. But I also think it's a stylistic matchup. It's just Fury. Look, Fury knows how to box enough that a limited boxer with a lot of power will not be able to beat him. He's not going to be able to do it unless he scores the home run shot. If he don't score the home run shot, and look, he already took his shots. He got back up. We saw what he did when he got back up. He was outboxing Wilder. He's the superior fighter. In my eyes, when if I knock a guy down, he gets back up and he's beating me up again like it was a mistake. Shit, I'm gonna be like, fuck, this guy was the better fighter that night. He's the superior fighter. And I don't think that was I think that's the way they're made for each other. If you look at his style, Fury versus Wilder's style, I think it's just meant for a disaster for Wilder.
Well, let me just say this.
Agree
Let me
with
just
you, totally. Go ahead,
Gonzalo, yeah, just real quick. We still got Black Boxing Fan on the line. Black Boxing Fan, we gotta let you go. But anything else you want to say before we move on?
No, that was basically pretty much it. Thanks, guys, for letting me talk.
All right, thank you for calling and call back again next time. All right.
Peace, bro.
All right.
All right, take it easy. So yeah, you can see there's. I mean, Wilder. I will say this about Deontay Wilder, and then I'll let Gonzalo talk because he wanted to say something. But Deontay Wilder, one thing you do have to give him credit for, it's like I said, his build up to the knockouts are boring, but hey, so far he's managed to hurt everybody he's fought. So that power is legit. There is no doubt about that. Gonzalo, you want to say something?
Just real quick, that just because Tyson Fury is a good boxer doesn't mean that for the whole 12 rounds he's always gonna prove to be like the best boxer that's unbeatable. That he's just I mean, like a master boxer that is gonna turn in 100% performance. No, he has his lows too, like any human being. You could be doing 99% of the time, but maybe that 1% you're just like everybody else to where you're vulnerable. And I think he's made for Wilder to like where if Wilder got the power and then Fury got the ability, that he's gonna give Wilder that moment where it's like a self-esteem type of thing, self-esteem. All right, you're the power puncher, but then we're boxing. But I'm also gonna let you land your shot to see how well I can take it. I'm gonna give you your props. It's kind of like a little lull, but it's kind of given to like where the other guy's being patient in Wilder and the other guy's boxing. But then he's gonna have to give that little break to where, yeah, obviously he's gonna let his boxing. He's gonna land his shot too. You know, he got the power.
Yeah, this is the thing with Wilder. I mean, 36 minutes, this guy's dangerous. And I thought Fury's game plan sort of played into Wilder's hands. I really did. I said it before in the prediction show we had. And the back foot, flicking out the jab, trying to avoid Deontay Wilder for 36 minutes because he is going to get it right eventually. And I tell you what, it almost cost him the fight. It's a style thing with Wilder. I think you've got to. It's all right, Fury being a slick fighter and putting on the skills for all the fans, but this is not about fans. When you're in there with Wilder, this is about getting the win and staying alive. And
that's why Stu. Stu, that's why I'm saying Stu. That's why I'm saying that Wilder's not gonna destroy you because he's patient, and credit to him for doing that. But he's not gonna put a beating on you for like 12. He's gonna wait for the moment where he conserves his energy and lands that power shot like he did against Fury. That he's gonna hurt you because he's not gonna be putting punch output that's gonna be beating you and banging you and hurting you.
Wilder has terrible work rate, bro.
Yeah.
Wilder, if you look at most of Wilder's fights, he's actually down on the cards before he gets the knockout, isn't he? He was losing the Spilker fight. A lot of people had him losing the Washington fight. The Fury fight, he definitely lost. There was other fights that he was down on the cards. Got the big shot out. So yeah, he's not. His work rate is a problem for me. But maybe, like I said, because he loads up on his punches, and when you miss as much as he does, that takes a hell of a lot of stamina out of you. When you're throwing them big windmills, you've got to be connecting something to take some of the energy back in. But no, he's losing a hell of a lot by windmilling them shots and missing. And that's his problem. So that he has to conserve energy. And it's quite a smart idea, really, because Wilder is not the sort of fighter that's going to be busy in your face like Ruiz throwing fast combinations. He's going to get knocked out. He's going to get knocked out doing that. He has to stay at range and pick his moments and land that big shot. That's all he's got. So
can I read some? Hold on. Can I just read some super chats that we missed?
Yes,
also, thank you for your contribution. He says Wilder is the black Ricardo Mayorga. Makes sense. Mr. E says Dylan White is innocent.
Yes,
Maybe.
he is. He's innocent.
I don't know. Like we talked about last show, he has that white privilege, so I wouldn't put too much stock in what the court says at the end of the day.
I think he's innocent. I think he's being stitched.
Vada said he's clean, so that's what I'm going by.
Well, if I was Dylan White, if Vada said I'm clean, I would pack my bags, move to America, and sign with Top Rank immediately. You don't have to. UK and the British Border Control have no say. He can fight under a US license, and the big fights will be there for him. I'd if that's what's happening, if they're trying to stitch Dylan White up the UCARD, then if I was Dylan White,
I think they are.
Yeah, I do too. I'd pack my bags, go to America, sign with Top Rank immediately.
Yep.
Now, when Stu says that you have to move to America, that means the situation has gotten bad. Sacrifice England for the United States?
Listen, mate, they're trying to throw the guy under the bus. They're basically, the whole world's calling him a drug cheat before even the facts have come out, yeah? And, that's why I didn't want to say. I'm not throwing this guy out. This is why I want to find out the facts before I say anything about it.
Listen, Eddie Hearn is a snake. Eddie Hearn is a snake in the grass.
Conspiracy theories.
I would leave that. I'm just saying, I would leave. I'm out of here. Signing with Top Rank.
I'll do the same. Recognize.
Yep. And I'll be like, I want my #1 mandatory. I'm going to sue you. The WBC.
Bob Arum would have got him that shot a lot quicker than fucking Hearn has.
Of course he would have.
I think the name Hearn is so toxic amongst the PBC and Haymanites that they're willing to cut their nose off despite their faces with this guy. They would rather earn 2 million fighting a guy than 50 fighting one of Hearn's guys. And that's how much they hate the guy. So Hearn's always going to struggle to do business with these guys with the big names, I think. I think Top Rank could have got that fight made.
Hey, listen.
I really do.
We started talking just a little bit about Joshua Ruiz 2 being in Mexico, and we ended up having this whole episode about it. Butcher, should we move on and just talk a little bit about something else before we go?
Absolutely.
All right. I just wanted to bring up something that I was reading on Boxing Scene. Teofimo Lopez now comes out, not as a homosexual, mind you, but he's coming out in the sense that he's saying that a potential delay in the Comey title fight is possible. He had already alluded to this a couple of days ago, but now he's saying, well, it's a learning process. He said, basically, the winner gets the mandatory. So he's saying that his opponent, Natakani, was very composed and very motivated to win, and that's why Teofimo Lopez couldn't look good. And then he says, was I happy with my performance? Absolutely not. I wasn't worried. I mean, I wasn't worried about losing, he says, but I was dealing with personal things like family issues. You look at those things, I've always been happy, but these last two fights, it's taken its toll with along with making weight. Okay, so now he's saying that he might not be ready for that Comey fight. He's saying he's had issues outside the ring. He's saying he's had issues making the weight. What happened with the Teofimo Lopez and his father, who were saying that a couple of weeks ago that they could beat Lomachenko and mop the floor with 135. Now all of a sudden it's, I'm not getting along with my family. I can't make weight. What's going on,
Reality
guys?
kicked in.
Very
Yeah,
reality.
he got a reality
Got
check.
reality
That's what we can do
He
that.
got his ass whipped. That's why.
Yeah, and that's what we can humble a man very quickly.
Turn very
Yeah,
fucking.
you know what happened is this, right? This is what happened. And listen, there's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes you go into a situation just not liking. Lomachenko being that guy. Look, I hate that guy. That's the last guy because I hate him so much, right? But then you fight a guy that you know Lomachenko more than likely would have fucked up, and then that guy goes in there and gives you a hell of a fight. It makes you have nightmares. Yo, if I would have been in there, Lomachenko, he would have made me shit my pants. Basically, he would have just beat the fuck out of me. So it humbles you. It humbles you. Like, yo, that could have been. Imagine if Bob Arum would have said, "You're next, buddy. You're fighting Lomachenko," and I go in there with blinders, thinking that I got this because I hate him so much that I can't see reality, and it's him that exposed me that night.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? So
I'm seeing a bit of what I saw with the Charlos with Teofimo Lopez, where sort of in shock that someone stood up to him, and their levels, the level they're at, sort of kicked in, and reality kicked in, and automatically the Canelo Alvarez is not there anymore for him. The Golovkin's not there, and I think with Teofimo it's the same with Lomachenko. I mean, he probably because if this guy who he just scraped a win against, if he's breaking you mentally, what the fuck would Lomachenko do to you? I mean, Lomachenko would have you sitting on the top of some fucking skyscraper, looking down. That's the sort of beating he would have took. So I think it's a mental thing. A lot of these young, like I said, young kids that get blown up to be some superstar that they're not. They think they're unbeatable, and because they're getting put in there with people that just fall over when you hit them. So they start to feel good about themselves. And like I said, as soon as someone starts holding your shots and then coming back with ones themselves and hurting you, and character of a fighter comes through. And I think Teofimo's probably having second thoughts about himself, doubts. Let's say.
This could be a good thing, Like you could learn from this, start improving this training camp, improve his skills, and maybe like get rid of his dad and get a better trainer. And then next fight we see him, he could be a better fighter.
Yeah,
have you seen
ice for a while?
Yeah, but have you seen have you seen that from him though? Does he look like he's a guy that's willing to bounce back and can't wait to get back in the gym? This guy, he looks like he's a bit beaten mentally. I don't know what's happened behind the scenes, but it's like he started to doubt himself a little bit. That's why he's called this fight. I can guarantee you, he's called this fight off because mentally he's not right.
Yeah, of course, but he could, real quick, he could, once he takes a few months off, he could reflect and learn through it. It's just up to him if he wants to do it.
Look, he's a sensitive boy. That's what I get from he's ego fragile. Don't put him in there with killers like that. Killers that are trained for this. They understand what you're going through. They understand that you have some. They're just gonna drown you, bro. This kid needs to realize that. Go reflect a little bit. Maybe get a better trainer if things are not working out with your father. I don't really care. But whatever he has to get himself mentally right, look, man, stay the fuck away from Lomachenko. He will fuck you up. Like, if I'm his family, I'm telling him, I don't have to tell him that publicly. I'm pulling him to the side and saying, look, he will kill you like a madman.
He
Like
will.
not even not
Especially,
even competitive, not even in a respectful way. I think he's gonna disrespect you and beat the shit out of you. So
It's
don't even
I
try.
think Lomachenko, he'll do to Lopez. He'll do to Lopez because he doesn't like Lopez. He has a disdain for him, and I think he would delay ending sort of thing. He would make that a hard night's work where he could get it when he could get finished early. He would. He'd do like you can remember what Kovalev did to Pascal, where he
yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Yeah.
and then just backed off so Pascal could take more punishment. I think Lomachenko would do that to him. Totally finish his career. I mean, if he's mentally wounded at the moment, what would he be like after Lomachenko's got to him? It's going to be like Private Pile in the last scene that he was in, isn't it? You know?
I am
And
in a
also,
world of shit.
Stu,
Go ahead.
real quick, also Stu, this Lomachenko is looking even more dangerous. Like after the Pedraza fight, he came in and just destroyed Collar. Like I don't know, maybe he was angry at his performance or whatever, but he just looked like he just wanted to beat shit out of someone. And I think if Lomachenko fights like that,
He's gonna
he will
fuck this
just
boy up.
he's gonna probably
gonna
he might
fuck
kill
him
him.
up.
Lomachenko's
It'll
very
be David
disappointed.
Price all over again.
And that's when the people around you pull your coat. Look, son, I know you think you can handle this, but you should know, like your son, your close one, whatever. No, listen. You tell him honestly. You speak to him in his ear. You be like, he will f up, bro. Chill out.
Well, you know,
and
it's
I don't
interesting. It's interesting
Huh?
that it's
Go
interesting
ahead. I'm
that
sorry.
what Apology said about that this might be a good sign, because a bad sign would be if he had struggled against the Japanese guy and then he continued saying, it's nothing. I don't have to change jack squat. This time, the fact that his ego is hurt might lead him to re-examine some of his flaws, because that's usually the only way you learn in boxing. You're gonna have a couple of tough nights if you're a prospect in order to learn what your weaknesses are and how to improve on them. Now, recognize, I seem to get the vibe from you that you don't think that Lopez is that type of guy, or am I wrong? Like, do you think he can adapt from this?
No,
Or?
he could. I think he could. The problem, look, I know what it's like to be a young man. I've met people like him where they tend to clash. Like I've had friends like him and I've had enemies like that we tend to clash. And when like you're a confident person, right? When you're a confident man in yourself, but you don't have that demeanor, what you want to do to a guy like that, you want to crush them. You want to crush their spirit, right? He's an easy guy to look at and say, I'm going to do that to him, right? Even if you're saying to yourself, you're not telling anybody around you. You're like, all right, you want to keep talking like that. You kind of like smile at him with an evil smile. You're like, you want to keep talking like that? Let's go. And he's not built for that. He's easy to not like. He should be careful, is what I'm saying. He should be careful because I think a normal guy will go in there. If he was just a normal person, normal attitude, they'll just beat him. They just go in there and beat him and expose his flaws. I think what you're going to get is somebody who's well concentrating on him to hurt him real bad. And that has a lot to do with the cockiness that he has. That has a lot to do with the brashness that he has. And then I hope he has somebody that will tell him, look, you're not that good yet, and you have to be careful. This fight right here with the Asian guy, that fight kind of like woke him up and said, look, man, somebody told him, like, if this kid would do this to you, I think Comey beats you. I think Lomachenko, which probably hurt his feelings, but somebody told him, I think Lomachenko dog walks you, basically.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Well, that, like you said, that Chinese guy that just fought Lopez, he might have been a little bit tougher than we think. We never know. Let's see what he does after the Lopez fight.
Right. I mean, listen, I'll keep an eye out on him, but I saw the way he fought, and I'm like, I think I know what Lomachenko would have done to this guy. He would have attacked his body for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it would have not been as tough. But again, maybe he like Apology said, he could learn from it. Look, if Teofimo was an enemy of mine, and I was so skilled, okay, if I was so skilled that I know how to take advantage of his weakness, I will crush him because I don't like him. I would beat a normal guy that just coming in, just take advantage of his mistakes. This guy, I'm gonna try to snatch his soul out of his body.
But now let me ask you this though: would you finish him off, or would you make the same mistake Carlito Brigante did with Benny Blanco and let him go, only for him to
I'm
come?
gonna finish it. No. But Carlito made a mistake. No, I'm finishing this guy. Yeah, I'm gonna finish him for sure.
I saw with Lomachenko when he fought Crolla that he came out with mean intentions that night.
Yeah, he did.
All that flashing around, none of that was there. He just came for business. And I think when Lomachenko's doing that, when he's just letting his hands go, I mean, he's unstoppable. I think Lomachenko sometimes can actually let fighters into the fight by flashing around and fighting the distance that he does, especially when he's fighting a distance with guys a lot longer reach than him and a lot bigger. I think when he gets inside the pocket and starts throwing his uppercuts and his body shots, I think he's a joy, and I think he's unstoppable. And I thought we saw that against Crolla.
Yeah, Butcher, you were going to say something?
Phone call.
There's a phone call. Oh, can you read the super chat too, real quickly? Because we had two super chats.
Walder is doing Gonzalo, thank you for the contribution. He says Walder is doing good, but a lot of people are crowning him as the greatest of all time already.
And there's another super chat from Bay Area, right?
Oh, no, hold on.
I think he said...
he says Gonzalo has turned on the Mexicans.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, Gonzalo, what's going on? Órale.
Oh.
¿Qué pasa, la raza? Órale, Holmes.
Just, like Andy Ruiz he's a Mexican American from the Imperial Valley. There's nothing to be ashamed about that.
Chale, Holmes. How you going to turn on la raza like that? All right, listen.
He's still a Mexican.
Let's go through the phone call. 585.
All right. Hey, now come on. All right, 585. Is this Vinny again?
This is Vinny.
Vinny, you there? Oh, Vinny.
Yes, I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, Vinny.
What you got to say to me now, tough guy?
Oh,
Vinny Virus.
And my cousin Vinny.
I have to disagree or recognize. I mean,
no
I
kidding.
think Lomachenko goes
Come on, bring it.
I think Teofimo Lopez is too strong for Lomachenko. Reminder, Teofimo is
I think the drugs you're taking are too strong for you,
and
Vincent.
I think Teo.
You just sound like a
Can
fucking
you repeat
retard.
that?
You just sound like a fucking retard.
Are you messing with me?
I've got a serious question.
You disgust me.
What is he?
I'm dead serious.
What? No, I've got a serious question. What do you mean by strength? Do you mean power? Do you mean like body weight? What do you mean by strength?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I just think he's a lot bigger than Lomachenko, and he would hurt Loma. He would. If he catches Loma,
You just sound like a fucking retard.
You know.
What if Loma hits his? What if
he could get?
Vincent? What do you think will happen if Lomachenko hit his beak, hit that beak right under? What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen if Loma?
Can you repeat that?
Fucking that fucking ugly nose. What happened?
He's saying what would happen if Lomachenko hit Teofimo Lopez in that ugly nose of his?
Right in that bridge. What do you think will happen?
Teofimo would brush it off. By the way, get a new phone.
Yo, you ever get your nose
brush
broken?
it off? This guy knows everything.
Oh my god, that's one of the worst things.
Vincent's on here to be the devil's advocate. That's what.
Yeah, I like Vincent. You're the devil's advocate, Vincent, right?
Advocate. He's here. No, we could say he'll come on and play the other guys.
I mean, we agree on things. But this one he's totally wrong. On this one, I'm sorry.
Did you just hear what we just said about Teofimo Lopez? Did you not just hear the last 10 minutes what we've been saying? What's wrong with this kid? That he's going to get absolutely mutilated if he ever gets in a ring with Lomachenko. You should obviously come onto the show and learn what you're hearing, but you're not.
Yeah, Vincent, you should learn.
Even if this guy,
Do you believe this guy?
You know what?
Dude,
Let me ask the caller a question. I gotta go on. Let me ask the caller a question. So apparently,
yes,
after Lomachenko and Crolla fought, they interviewed Teofimo Lopez about it the week after, and he was like, "Oh no, I didn't watch the fight. I felt like I didn't need to watch the fight. What do you think that tells about his character or how he feels about fighting Lomachenko? I think it's very indicative of some. I'll just let you answer.
Yeah, I mean, no, I agree with you. I remember him saying that on they interviewed him on ESPN, and he said that. I didn't like that personally because, when you fight a guy like Lomachenko, I think you need to study him because he's not your average fighter. His foot movement is exceptional, but I know he says his dad gives him pointers and stuff like that, but I do think he needs to watch tape on Loma. That's one guy he does, but I still think he smokes Lomachenko. Honestly, I do.
All right, now let me ask you this about Teofimo Lopez because you seem to have a lot of faith in him. On the other hand, he doesn't seem to have a lot of faith in himself because he's talking about how he's not ready for the Comey fight yet. So, what do you think about that?
That's news to me. I heard him saying that he wants Comey next, unless something happened between then and now. That's news to me.
Well, there's a lot of news.
Personally, I think he's ready right now.
You think he's what?
I think he's ready right now, personally. I think he knocks out Comey. Comey is one-dimensional, but he does have a great right hand. He does have power, but I think Teofimo has a chin. I really do think he has a chin.
All right. Well, we'll have to see, man.
But what was Nakatani, though? What was Nakatani? He was
Yeah, after that performance, he's not ready.
Just a little bit of head movement. He was one-dimensional. He didn't get knocked out. Comey is a big boy.
I think he gets his nose. That's what I think's happened.
Yeah, you just want to see that beak get broke.
Yeah, I think that bird. I think that bird nose. I think that bird nose is gonna get this.
All right, hold on. Let Vinny boy.
Are you serious right now?
But hold on, VMAC.
Yeah, I'm dead serious, VMAC. Dead serious. I think that bird nose goes to sleep. Go ahead.
No, but listen.
Don't laugh at me.
So I think
fake
Teofimo
laugh.
has
That
chin.
fake force
Yes,
laugh.
I agree. He struggled a little bit with the with his. I think it was his mandatory, correct?
Yeah.
Beak nose.
Yeah, I think he struggled a bit with his mandatory, but I think he's learned a lot from that fight. His mandatory, that guy's pretty good, man. You got to give him credit. He went in
I
there,
agree.
he
I think he
fought.
learned a lot too.
Yeah, but that's a good VMAC. Who did you pick? How did you pick Teofimo to win that last fight?
Knockout. That's what he picked.
Oh, I had him by knockout, but I had him in the later rounds, and I was waiting for him. I was waiting for him to do his Fortnite dance, but he never did it. He actually did a backflip instead. But that's okay with me.
But you should stop
I think
doing.
he's the next big
Oh
star.
wow, what backflips! So amazing.
He does a better backflip than Lomachenko.
I'll tell you, he'll be doing a fucking backflip if Lomachenko lands clean.
Exactly.
Are you serious? Are you serious
Yes.
right now, Stu?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's serious. man.
But okay, so Vinny Mac, put it together. Okay, Lomachenko puts on a brilliant performance, and Teofimo. Oh no, I felt like I didn't need to watch that. So that now he gets exposed by Nakatani. Comes out. Oh, I don't think I'm ready for the Comey fight. Put two and two together, man. He's not mature. He's not ready. There's a lot of internal turmoil going on. And if he's talking now about family bullshit, I mean, we already kind of saw that coming with the crazy father. So now,
Imagine Vince is right.
this is it's all falling apart. I mean, I don't know how you can't see that at all.
I feel pretty safe to. He steps in with Lomachenko right now. He gets that.
No,
Yeah, recognize you keep cutting up, man. I think you need to leave the hangout and come back.
How about now?
Yeah, you're still cutting up, man. Listen, Vinny, we gotta go, but before we do, I gotta ask you. We got a couple of nicknames for you. Some people are saying VMAC, some people are saying Veve, some people are saying Vector. What do you think?
Vinny Virus.
No way.
You can hear me now?
Vinny Mac is good.
All right, Vinny Mac. Yeah, we can hear you, recognize.
All right, cool.
Yes,
All right, listen, VMAC. What was it? Vinny Boy. Yeah, Vinny Boy. Listen, we gotta go.
Vinny Mac.
Vinny Mac. Yeah. Sorry. How dare I? All right, Vinny Mac. We gotta go. Thank you for calling in, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right.
Yeah, bye, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Bon voyage, motherfucker.
See you.
All right. Listen. We got a lot done here. We talked about Ruiz. We talked about Lomachenko. We got Lopez. We didn't talk about crabs and pubes today, but I suppose we're gonna keep that for the next episode. Guys, this was the inaugural Discord stream. I think it went pretty well. I think we were all a little bit too excited with the Joshua Ruiz subject, but overall, I think it went pretty well. What do you guys think?
Fantastic.
I can hear everybody better on this platform.
I can hear the callers better.
And me
they
too.
don't
The
sound
call.
delayed.
I was about to say that the callers sound
Callers.
much better.
The samples
Really?
that BDA
Still
plays, the soundboard
sucks.
bites, I could hear all of it.
Bro,
Oh,
it
than
sucks.
before.
It's
Wait, hold on.
Better than
exactly the
before, though.
same.
Hold on. Apology
Well,
says it sucks.
nah.
Hold on. Apology
That
says it
sounds
sucks. Apology. What are you
It
saying? It
sounds
sucks.
it's exactly the same as Hangouts. Like there was so many delays, people calling
Yeah,
out.
but that's because you're,
Sounds
that's 'cause
exactly the
you're
same.
using.
Bullshit.
Yeah, but that's because you're using the gym Wi-Fi. Apology.
Your
This is a treadmill right now. Come on.
apology, you gotta step up your Wi-Fi game.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Shame on
Two of
you.
the key while he's on the phone, isn't he?
Shame on
Daniel Du
you.
Bois.
Shame
Triple D.
on you.
Yeah, I was waiting
Yeah.
for Apology to come in. He never came. He took him a long time to come in.
Come on in here, motherfuckers.
That's what I
It's
was
not
saying. bro.
apology, it's Godspeed.
Godspeed.
That's true. That's
He's living
true.
a double life. Who are you trying to impress calling yourself Godspeed
No,
on the anime board
living a
somewhere?
He's living a triple life. He's triple D. Daniel Dubois. Du Bois.
The boys.
The boys is back in town.
The boys are back.
Daniel Dubois. How
I
Stu says.
bet.
Triple
I
D.
bet you. I bet he was fucking using speed when he jumped on that little fucking girl on university, eh?
Ooh. Hey yo, Stu, do you like the Smiths?
The who?
The Smiths? The band, the Smiths from England?
I thought he was on about fucking Callum Smith and Liam Smith.
No, Morrissey. I'm talking Morrissey.
I don't like any like fucking left wing hippie bollocks. Get out of here, man.
The music is kind of good though. Come
Precise.
Fucking rock. They're all social justice warriors, aren't they? They're all fucking.
I
do-gooders.
know, but
He likes the Pet Shop Boys.
in high
Yeah,
school
what,
I liked them a lot.
Fine young cannibals and things like. Get out of here, man.
Okay, what about
Duran.
I don't like Wham any of them.
what about Oingo Boingo?
I don't like any of them.
Do you like the
Iron
Prodigy?
Maiden?
The Prodigy.
Huh?
The
Yeah,
Prodigy.
I do like the Prodigy. Yeah,
There
like
you
the
go. I knew that.
Prodigy,
I can imagine Stu in the raves back in those days, taking a
yeah.
little bit
Mate,
of Molly.
I used to take fucking pills that they'd make you moon boot. You know, you fucking take half of one of these pills. They were 15 quid at the time in the rave days, not in the 90s. You take half. They're about £1 now, but they're 15 back then. You take half of your missing, and you'd have your fucking moon boots on, mate. You'd be fucking dancing away all night.
Your moon
Then
boots.
good old rave days. I miss the old rave days, mate. I really do.
Sounds like fun.
It was fun. I tell you what, mate.
What was your favorite DJ? Real
Got the old
quick.
members that through the rave days, mate. The girls didn't mind getting the knickers off with during the 90s. I can assure you.
Dude, do you ever wake up in like a strange place, like
All the
Oh, mate.
time.
on a train track or something like that?
No, just in some fucking. I remember one time I woke up in this hippie's house. There's over fucking hippies. There's all sitting there staring. What the fuck's it? This girl goes. This was in the Raven day. She goes. She popped something in my mouth. Man, what was it? And then this, I was off my fucking face. I was like, whatever. Yeah, I'll do it. That was years ago, so I took it. I was like, what the fuck was that you just gave me? She goes, ketamine. I was like, what the fuck? Because I went to get up, my fucking legs had come up. Ouch. Do you know what I mean? I just want to get the fuck out. I freaked out because I'd never do that stuff. Do you know what I mean? I thought it was the line of Charlie or something.
Right.
Back in the day, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me, my legs had went. I was all freaking out. All these hippies were staring at me. I got the fuck out of there, man.
Hey, if you're gonna fly, you fly high first class, man. That's what.
That was the one time where you take a pill and then wake up, just fucking forget where you are, wake up somewhere. I mean, the good old days. These days, I mean, I don't do them sort of things no more.
Nowadays, Stu, a wild night for Stu is staying up all night to watch like I don't know, fucking Teofimo Lopez fight or something like that. A nice
Yeah, I
cup of
mean that's how fucking my life's got boring. Where I'm having to stay up to watch Pacquiao Thurman and
and hang out with us degenerates. Hey, by the way, recognize, I gotta tell you
yeah.
something. Because I'm evaluating everybody's performance here. I think everybody did well. Gonzalo, you were a little too over energized. I don't know if you took some coffee or something to stay awake over there in the Philippines, but I know. Wait a minute, isn't it day right now in the Philippines, Gonzalo?
I stayed up all night. I
Oh,
drank a few
jeez.
beers and
Drink a lot of coffee.
Zalo, what was that earlier when you were shouting? Was that you?
I don't know, but maybe I got a little out of control. My bad. That's why I
No,
kind
no,
of
it's
pulled in
good.
the reins and
It's
decided
good.
to
It's
just.
good. We like energy here at BDA. You know that already. It's
You
always
were
good to
like,
have.
yes, he's down. Were you like beating up
Reasons.
trannies or something?
No, it's a soundbite or something. I don't know.
No, that's not
Oh, it
true.
was a soundbite. Oh, you guys fooled me.
I
Man.
don't know.
You guys fooled me. I thought I was
Hey, Mr.
Gonzalo.
BDA. Hey, Mr. BDA. Hey, Mr. BDA. Hey, Mr. BDA.
I
That
seen
pre
that clip of Bucho hitting the punching bag. He
Hey,
looked
Mr.
good.
BDA. Mr. BDA. Mr. BDA.
Maybe like an Orlando Canizales
The
or
guys
something.
speak.
Yeah, go ahead. Apology.
That
Sorry.
soundbite sounds like the Mexican C3PO.
All right, go ahead. Apology. Sorry, you want to say something?
Quags in the chat telling me to line them up. So Quags obviously likes to sniff. Seamus says he's done Ket and he enjoyed it. Fuck knows what you want to enjoy. But why would you want to enjoy not being able to move? How's that enjoyment, isn't it?
That's a good point. That's a good question. Hey, different strokes for different folks, man. That's what I learned in the industry.
Ask John Gonzalez. He'll tell you.
All right, what was I gonna say? Yeah, apology. You were gonna say something.
No, just just wondering what happened. But you guys fooled me. I thought it was actually Gonzalo.
Oh, he's down. Yes.
Just a soundbite.
Oh, he's down. Yes. Oh, he's down. Yes.
Oh, I heard that
Pacquiao.
line. Yo,
His
I got a good
wackiest fucking
soundbite.
Thurman.
I got a good soundbite of Gonzalo earlier from McGregor's stream when he's talking about when he shook Eric Morales' hand and it was a beautiful, soft embrace. Like he got so you heard it, recognize?
Wait,
right?
what?
Listen, man, Gonzalo's the greatest. I told you.
I heard that as
talking
well.
boxing with these guys last
I
night.
was at the gym
Back in
when
the
I
day,
heard that.
Oh, it's
No,
great.
it's
I'm
true.
gonna send
You
it.
know, Eric Morales is not the power. He did hit hard because he was an accurate puncher, but he don't have the complexion of like a power puncher. He's kind of like fragile.
Yeah, he's wiry. Hey yo, and Stu, I tried to ask you, what's your favorite? Like, what were your favorite music artists when you was going and raving?
What are you writing an article on Stu? What's up with all the questions, man? He's running a.
No, because I've been listening to a lot of fucking electronic shit, man.
I'm gonna get a knock on the door one day. It's gonna be revolution with a notebook.
Can I come in,
What
bro?
other questions did I ask, man? I asked
Can
one
I
fucking
can I come in, bro? Can I come in, bro? Don't shut the door, bro. What are you doing?
With the life is still little, I thought I could.
one goddamn question. I'm trying to get a music recommendation. God damn it.
You sound like a
Right.
narc.
So what sort? But like I said, I'm very versatile, bro. I'm not narrow-minded. It's
I
like
asked about the Smiths and shit. That's
well,
right. Okay, my bad.
it's like pussy. I'm not narrow-minded. When people say what sort of pussy, like I like all pussy. Don't you know? So I'm not going to start discriminating, sort of thing. It's like a bit of music. I like all sorts of music.
Black
So
pussy, yellow pussy, stinky pussy.
like, yeah, exactly. I mean, let's be real. Who in their right mind is going to get some fit bird? If you just say it's a bit tan, say if you're a white guy and a tan girl comes along, but a brown girl, she's fit as hell, and gets it out. What are you going to say? Nah, you're not for me. A bit brown for me. No, you're going to jump.
Too brown. Sorry.
There's like
a Mexican for me. You know, you're not going to do that, are you? So it's no discrimination here with that. And the same with music. I'm versatile. I'm willing to listen to all sorts of music. There's obviously some music I can't fucking deal with, but yeah, it depends what sort of style of music you like, bro. I could tell you about.
Shit, you were like when you was raving and doing lines and partying.
It was all like in the UK. It's a different music scene. It was all like rave scene.
House.
Yeah, jungle music was. I love jungle music. I loved hardcore house. I do like funky house. I do like funky house and stuff like that. But we had in England. We
Dude's
have
an animal. Dude's a
I
fucking
like,
animal, bro.
I like garage. I do like a bit of garage, speed garage and stuff. And you know, but I used to go drum and bass nights all the time. I love jungle. Do you know
Yeah,
what
that's my
Dude,
shit. I
dude
like
was
the
the kind of guy
jungle.
that'll call a couple of friends in town. Hey, maybe we go look for girls. Don't worry about it, buddy. I got it covered. Oh, okay, thank you. How about some, drugs? Don't worry about it. I got it covered.
Yeah,
Everything
good.
was covered.
I'll tell you what, mate. When you come out with me, every angle's fucking covered. Don't you worry about that.
What were you popping, Stu? Were you popping the roofies, the Rohypnol, benzodiazepine 2 milligrams, or the
That's all of the demonstrate.
You're about my age. That's what we had in TJ, the benzo.
You know, every single drug.
Fucking hell, Gonzalo, slow down here, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Gonzalo, he's becoming a legend now.
Remember the roofies, though? Remember the roofies? Because we had them.
Oh, man.
Hey, Gonzalo must think I'm fucking Charlie Sheen or something.
Oh, that was the
vape
best.
drug, but really, it's
Right.
you
Hey,
take
let's
some
be
of
real,
those and-
pop anything these days. Back in the day, I popped the old. It was good back then. These days, they're horse tranquilizers, like ketamine stuff. And if a bit of Colombia's on the side and there's a party, I won't say no. Let's just say that, but I don't make a habit of it. I went to a party the other night and there was loads of it on the table. That's why I didn't roll in at 10 o'clock. But do you know what I mean? I don't make a habit of it. Let's just say that. I don't say anything else.
Gonzalo, what were the substances that you just listed?
That's the Rohypnol, the roofies. They're
Right.
called in Mexico. They're called roches. 2 milligram benzodiazepine.
Okay.
Common one in the United States is a date rape drug.
Yeah, but Rohypnol's a fucking rape. Why would I want to take one of that?
Yeah, benzos, xannies, and
Because
shit.
they're
Why would I want to take a drug to make me dizzy so someone can rape me? I mean,
they disinhibit you. They make you relax. But kind of as you were alluding to, it's just the same thing. You forgot what you did the night before, but then you wake up with maybe a whole bunch of shit that you don't know. And
My dick's on fire.
Some people like to fight. Some people like to steal. Some people it gets.
You think you're queer? I'm gonna tell you
no wonder your
something. We're
wife made you
all
have a HIV test. We all thinking, bro.
Yeah, I'm pretty much stay indoors, but every time that I kind of like go and go on a little hiatus, yeah, it gets crazy.
You like to dress up like a woman? You like to dress up like a woman?
My dick's on fire.
Hey, listen, as long as you party, rock out with your cock out, do what you gotta do, man. We don't judge here at BDA Boxing. Although I will say my days of partying are long gone. Now the only person I party with is Jesus Christ himself. Listen, I wanted to tell Recognize too a little something. Alright, stop mocking me. Recognize, I wanted to say, you're being very
But
obnoxious.
what about a BDA? But you have to like
Wait.
mucho now, right? Every Saturday.
Let BDA say what he has to say to me.
Yeah, I want to say, Recognize, you're being very obnoxious and very rude to the callers, and I want you to keep it up, all right? Because we need like a balancing act here.
Thank you. I thought you were going to say stop it. I was going to say,
What did you keep? Well, what did you keep bringing up? Did you keep bringing up Teofimo Lopez's ugly beak? And I'm thinking, where's he going with this, man?
Because I wanted to. Okay, this is what I was trying to do. Okay, I was trying to set him up. What I was trying to do was set him up so that right when he's about to hang up, I could be like, "Yeah, all right, buddy, bye." And then he keeps talking. No, I'm not talking to you. Go, buddy, goodbye. So he just gets mad. I want him to keep coming back at me. That's what I want. I want him 585 to keep coming back at me.
585.
All right. I'm having fun with him.
That's cool. That's cool. Now listen, we got Pete.
We gotta take a moment. Yeah, Pete. I was about to
Pete on the
introduce
line?
Pete. What's going on, Pete? Welcome aboard, Scale Bender.
Pete, you got in here. Pete, you got in here too late, man. We gotta.
Kid.
Pete, you got in here too late, man. We gotta go.
That's fine.
Yeah, can I just ask Pete a question quickly?
Yes, go ahead,
Yes.
please. Go ahead.
I saw in the chat, like, you said I've caught you off guard. What do you mean by that?
Say again.
You said chat that I caught you off guard. Now, what was you talking about?
Hold on. Who's got?
With the music. I'm sorry.
Oh, what? Do you like that?
Do I like what?
Did you like that sort of?
No. I just was expecting like Zeppelin or some kind of British. I wasn't expecting funky house. I didn't know what the hell.
Yeah, I do. My dad was a Zeppelin fan.
Stu,
Hold
did
on,
you go into a tunnel?
Who's got the echo? Yeah, who's got the? I think it's Pete. I
Not
think
me.
Pete.
It's
Pete,
Pete. It's not me.
Yeah, I think Pete. I
It's
think you got
probably
your speakers on.
It's affecting everyone.
Yeah, I think you got the speakers on there.
Like Zeppelin, I do like the Beatles, but early Beatles, before they started getting all fucking hippie and before they started living, you know, that
Before McCartney died.
lovely little world they were living in, a little fluffy, lovey-dovey world that they wanted to live in, and they started to get corny and hippie, and I'm not into that. So no, I used to like them early when they used to wear the suits and go American, bang all the girls over there. That's when I liked them.
Before Paul McCartney died.
Come on,
But,
what's the
but
matter with you?
before he was in a car crash and he got
Don't
replaced.
get him. Don't get him started.
Yeah, don't get him started on that crap.
What
By
about
the way,
Motorhead?
by the way, Pete, you like Vangelis, right? Because he's Greek. Is that what you listen to? Well, Vangelis. All right, I'll take that as a no.
Pete the Greek. Pete Greek.
Yeah, Jimmy the Greek. All right, listen.
Hey, did you talk to BDA? Did you Pete the
Recognize you're cutting off again, man.
See, I told you this is just as bad.
When Pete's on his beta, delta, alpha.
Recognizes using them new Wi-Fi boxes he's selling.
Yeah, he's using that. Recognize you're using that bodega Wi-Fi. It's not gonna work, man. You gotta get a decent connection there. Grievous says,
How do I sound now? How do I sound now?
Well, we can hear you, so it sounds bad. We got Grievous saying Demis. Grievous says Demis Russos. Yeah, he had that one hit, right? Forever I Love You or something like that, which was produced by Vangelis, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Nice connection there. Bunch of Greeks eating souvlaki and making records. That must have been dope back in the day. Now listen.
I had a souvlaki today.
Shut up. Listen, the point is, no, hey, souvlakis are good, man.
You guys are on fire tonight.
I like Pete's
about
obnoxious. I like Pete's obnoxious, low key. Like, yeah, you guys are on fire tonight. Yeah.
Gyro's good too. Yo, BDA, do you like that wrestler Conan, that Mexican wrestler?
Which one is that? I don't even know.
Órale, arriba la raza.
He was in WCW back in the day.
Oh, it was he the bald guy?
Arriba la raza.
I'm all up for people getting, into the wrestling. Pretend it's a movie. It's a good night out, and it's always a good night on the TV. But when you see grown ass men like really believe in the shit, bro.
Oh, yo, they don't even believe in it now. It's just they fanboy out. They go to the conventions. I got friends who just see them on Instagram, like picture after picture after picture with these B-level wrestlers, man, and that's all they talk about, man.
Come on, man. Fucking all right.
I'm like, fuck this, dude.
You can enjoy something, but when you're like sitting there getting really into it, like it's real. I mean, that's how fucking brainwashed people are these days. You can just sell them any sort of lie, and they'll buy it. And that's what boxers do.
We get the
page. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Wrestling back in the late 90s was pretty funny. Like, I was a teenager, but it was crazy. You had like a pimp. You remember that? What was his name?
Godfather.
All these girls and shit. But it was like everybody was complaining it's too much for the kids and shit, whatever. But now wrestling apparently it's become shit, like just like society because of the liberals and all that shit.
Dude,
so it's boring, man.
They give the broads the fucking main event matches on fucking WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The fucking broads had a match.
They're
It's fucking
they're
pathetic.
pushing women
Them
into
women
like
matches
the main events.
dreadful, man. They might as well just stick them in a mud tank and make it more exciting, man.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Make it more exciting.
I don't like this
back in
type
the
of
day,
talk,
I like. Have you ever seen that clip on Howard Stern? Is it with Rando Macho Man Savage and the Iranian guy? I mean, I can't remember. It was a really old clip.
Iron Sheik.
Sheik. Iron Sheik. That is one of the funniest clips. Go on.
Macho Man and Iron Sheik?
No, the funny.
You can get away with that stuff now, man. Do you know what I mean?
The funniest clip was when Stone Cold beat up Booker T in the store. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
it's just like I said, it was funny back in the day, but it's
All right.
too political correct. Everywhere's too political correct, so you can't really. Just no holds barred, man. The scripts were actually better than the fight, weren't they?
You guys hear me?
If they start going after boxing, fuck, man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna lose it, man.
They're gonna come after boxing.
They're already doing that, mate. Like I said, the LGBT belt is in production as we speak.
Yeah, it is.
You know, little Garcia is going to be the fucking first guy to hold that, don't you?
Do you guys think there'll be like intergender boxing or like trans boxing, like a trans guy versus a regular girl?
Yeah, they probably will, and you can bet your life Deontay Wilder and Tank Davis will be fighting them.
Probably.
If that happens, mate, I mean, because I saw the other day where a transgender won a weightlifting competition.
Disgusting.
Against women.
You know what? It actually made me sick to my stomach.
Was it against women?
Yeah, against women. This is a weak-minded individual. If you want to go and change yourself, fair play. But don't change it and then go compete against women and then claim to be a victor at your sport. You're a fucking coward. Come to the big boys where the real men are and see how fucking far you go. You get slapped to the side.
Well, you know, it's so funny how these women, the feminist movement is like so, you know, anti-men and you know, we gotta protect the women and so on and forth, right? But these transgenders are actually fucking men, and they're going in competition, like combat competition. Some fucking man is beating the shit out of a woman. They have nothing to say about that.
The thing is, the feminists are actually they're gonna moan their way out of existence, where men are gonna find any sort of species apart from them, because it's getting to the stage where it's like that already. I mean, women. Let's be real. 90% of women are fucking horrible to be around, aren't they? They just drain the energy from you. They drain the energy from you.
If all men united and we said, look, we're not giving out dick no more. We're not fucking. If we pulled that move as a whole front against bitches, how they do it on an individual level to all of us with implied pussy, that they have so much power in society over implied pussy.
Yeah, but we'd have to ban dildos, because if they've got one of them, they won't give a flying.
Oh,
fuck.
they don't like they could masturbate for a while, but they can't do it like guys can. They can't. They will get sick of it. I would give them about 2 months.
And dildos can't pay for your meal either.
There you go.
So.
There you go.
It's good to know. It's good to know all the annoying bitches in the world got a voice on the show for the revolution.
Oh,
excuse me.
Oh,
You're like having a fucking broad on the fucking panel, man.
Excuse me. You talking to me?
Wow, what's going on?
Ask Stu some more questions. Hit on Stu some more.
Oh,
where's this coming from? Where's this coming from, Pete?
You said it, not me. Go ahead, ask him.
I
What's your
think
sign, Stu? Revolution wants to know.
Why is it that all I can see right now on the screen is you too? Like, I can't see nobody else, Pete. Pete, what's going on?
You trying to say you're fat.
You're looking like a grumpy bumpy sitting there. Your hair.
You said you're fat, Pete. You gonna let that slide? You just said you're fat.
I didn't say fat. I said grumpy looking.
I'm fat.
No, you said it's taking out the whole screen. You said he's taking out the whole screen. You're calling him fat.
Don't get me upset
You know what
now.
I fucking hate?
I'll make a big
I don't
fucking
like
thing out of it.
that, you know, they're making out to be.
now what are you doing, Gonzalo? You started. We had a good thing going between. We gotta think between Revolucion and Pete, and all of a sudden you step in talking about Rahibnihol or whatever that drug is.
You know, I can't do it. You know,
Gonzalo gotta turn his keys in. Got to turn his keys in before he gets on this podcast.
My bad. Go ahead.
All right. So what's this between Revolucion and Pete? What's going on here?
I want to know too.
He's jealous of Stu getting all
Gonzalo.
this attention.
I'm sorry, not Gonzalo. No, I'm waiting to get on the show, and I got to listen to you, which are asking Stu what his favorite music is, what he like to listen to. He dropped it. He got back to boxing. You pushed it on again. He's not interested. Buy him a drink or not, and move on.
All right. Well, I thought the show was ending too, but in my defense, my explanation, I thought the show was ending. I want to just ask on the way out, just out of curiosity. So now we're getting back on the boxing talk now, Mr. BDA and Bucho.
No.
Hold on,
fuck
hold
no.
on.
I think we should talk about the music I like.
Steven Schneider
That's
in
what I was
the
trying to do, but I was
Steven
trying to
You
break
like
the ice
Queen?
because I felt there was an uncomfortable moment between Peter and Revolution.
Steven Schneider in the chat room. Steven Schneider in the chat
Look,
room.
you know
Hold
what?
on,
I'll
hold
be
on.
off. I won't come on next time. And I ain't trying to be bitchy
A
about
Revolution.
it. But there's not a room. I'll let Pete, you get my spot next time. Man. My bad.
Fuck off then.
If you're gonna come on here, Revolution, you're gonna have to take shots to the chin, mate. Trust me, I've had that many shots to the chin. I'm punch drunk, so
I'm taking. Hey, no, I'm just trying to keep everything
give
cool,
him it
man.
back. Give him there. Give him it back. Or get him in the quiz and take him on in the quiz.
La
Yeah,
Evolución.
I'll give you guys some questions. I'll make up some questions.
I can barely hear you.
La Evolución. Steven Schneider says Pete is on the PEDs, the rage. So I think that might explain why he's going after you there.
It's gonna do a Chris Benoit tonight.
Okay, come on. We're gonna. Don't bring up Chris Benoit. The poor man is dead after murdering his family because they pissed him off. I mean, it's not his fault. His family pissed him off. What do you want from him? You've never been pissed off by your family? You never want to strangle them? Put them in a chokehold? Drive their head against the wall?
BDA, you reading my mind right now.
To the chicks.
Yeah, La Evolución, I think Pete was just busting your balls a little bit. I don't,
Yeah,
you
we
gotta
just
roll
busted
with-
the ball.
Yeah, that's all Revolution. Don't worry
Sounded
about
for
it.
real though.
All right, cool.
Was he really, or was it for reals? Because
See, even Gonzalo feels it though, but it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, but about your childhood.
Just take a little pop. Take a little pop.
Hold on,
say
guys.
It's all good.
Speaking of real,
But just to piss Pete off, let's have Stu talk more about
his rave days.
No, I'm interested in Steve's music. I don't got no
childhood.
problem.
hold, real quick, just talking about real. Gonzalo, was that real what you said to Pete on that stream a few weeks ago?
Oh,
What's that?
You talk. What was it? You said, "Look at this, Pete. Who's been silent for the weeks. Finally decides to talk." You just shut him down
He
completely.
was kind of quiet leading up to the Pacquiao fight.
Oh, yeah. Gonzalo was
Unlike
hyped up.
today, when
Gonzalo
he
was
had
hyped up for that
spontaneous
fight, man.
combustion.
Hello. He tried to speak, mate. He was fucking on one, brother. In Pacquiao, the Pacquiao excitement overtook his soul, bro.
Yeah, it
Yeah, Gonzalo was lit. Gonzalo was hyped up for that fight, man. We all were. That's all right. That's
and
cool.
Pete was kind of like he was in the he was over in Florida scouting out Keith Thurman in the gym.
Okay,
looking at him train.
Hey, by the way,
you know what he was accusing you of, right, Pete?
I caught him at flute practice.
He was accusing Pete of being scared. That's what I take from Gonzalo.
Kind of like fanboying too. I mean, to each his own. I mean, he's from his
Oh, fanboying. Fanboying. You want to talk about fanboying?
I was fanboying.
You said that
He's
yo,
a good fighter. I mean,
Wait a
he's
minute,
good
wait a minute, wait a
fighter.
minute.
I mean, anybody. The fact that
What do you mean he
Pacquiao
was?
was a favorite, it was just not. I could see how Thurman. People would have. I mean, that's a good choice. People would have picked him.
I thought Thurman was gonna knock Pacquiao out. I put a lot of faith on this guy.
No!
And
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I feel like I'm a mirage over here. What am I, a mirage?
Got me on the pay no mind list.
Got me on the pay no mind list?
No, I thought you said I'm all right.
No, I am all right. You not all right.
Okay, I'll get you the drink.
Dance the drink back to me.
Yes, dude. Do you like
Crawl,
Queen?
crawl like you crawl for the
Hey,
drink.
recognize.
Got
What's your favorite food on Thanksgiving?
No, come on.
Come on now. Come on now.
Pork and beans.
Wait,
Pork and beans.
Revolution. If I answer that, it's gonna piss Pete off. You don't even want to know.
What
I
is
don't
it?
give a shit. Go ahead.
Is it
Trying to ask me a question,
Master Choli or I don't know. Wait, no, that'd be Johnny Boy.
Apology. You was trying to ask me a question, but I didn't hear you. What's
What do you like
Queen?
for Thanksgiving? What do you like for Thanksgiving?
What's your sign?
I like what?
There's no Thanksgiving in Britain, by the way.
Queen.
Queen,
Queen.
the what? The band Queen or the Queen in the fucking Buckingham Palace?
The band Queen.
Band Queen. Yeah. I do like Queen. I think it's quite talented.
Yeah,
I think
ugh.
it's quite talented. Yeah, I do. I
never
don't listen
liked
to. I don't listen to their music in my car or anything, but it comes on. I do quite like them. Yeah.
All right, listen, fellas, we got to go. I think this we got to keep this podcast under 3 hours. By the way, Shepherd the Sons in the chat room said, keep the stream going until Gonzalo faints. I don't think he faints, man. I think he can go for a 12-hour stream easy. Butcher, remember when we tried to do that, or you guys remember that too, right? When we did that last year, we did the...
we did it yesterday.
Gonzalo could go longer than David Blaine without sleep, mate.
But hold on a
Listen
second.
to
You did
what's a
that...
good Queen song?
You did
We
a...
are the champions.
Listen, we did a... with Unrivaled Boxing Talk. How long did I go for last night?
13 hours or 24 hours. Something like that.
Is it still going?
That's
No.
12 hours.
It's still going.
Yo, what's up, y'all? I'm back. Revolution. I didn't know Chris Benoit was your father. Now I understand why you're so sympathetic towards the guy. Now I get it, bro.
Oh.
Excuse me?
I'm just fucking with you.
Is there?
But he's got, when I saw him the other day, he's got a bit of a fucking Shawn Michaels look going on. Hasn't
Bruh.
It's all right, man. Revolution is cool, man.
Hey, man, you better when you hear me tuning up the band, you better fucking duck, man. I'll throw a kick, man. I ain't playing.
I'm just fucking with you, bro. Take it easy.
Damn, Pete, man. You got me wishing I was back in Florida, bro.
I'm just fucking with you, Revolution, bro.
No, we all fucking with each other. We all fucking with each other. So, Johnny just came on. That adds on, what, another 20 minutes?
Yeah, but no, hold on a second. No. I gave Pete some time because he came in, but I can't give Johnny Boy. Johnny Boy, you gotta come in earlier, man.
You goddamn guineas really make me laugh.
I don't know what's the matter with you, man.
You fucking rat. Oh, hey, no, let me just ask a couple of questions real quick. The fuck? So the Hangouts terminated? Why am I still messaging on there?
No, you can still message on the Hangouts, I believe. Just can't do live streams anymore. That's what I think.
Oh, these motherless fucks. All right.
I think that, Johnny, don't take me at my word. I think
no, it's
you
all
could
good.
still do the Hangouts chat, but you probably can't do the fucking Hangouts. That's probably it. You can't do it through Hangouts anymore.
Yeah, because I think the thing is I need a camera to do the streaming now or something on the YouTube. I don't know. I think that's what it said. So.
Well, ask BDA. BDA is the one that got it. You guys got it on. So
yeah, half you dudes are Keanu Reeves on Matrix over there. So what the fuck is going on?
It's only one Matrix here.
I like to think of myself. I like to think of myself as Keanu Reeves in Johnny Mnemonic. That was a better movie than The Matrix.
Yeah, you can BDA. You could go on that movie, all right? Just stay away from Matrix.
Was Keanu Reeves in Beavis and Butthead? Was he in that one or something?
No, he was
in Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted. That's it. Bill and Ted. I knew it was something like that. Yeah, I remember that one.
Well, yeah. Well, so can I do solo streams still, or I just can't fight you guys on, or what's going on over here, Bucho or BDA? Before you go.
You could do streams and invite other people. That's what BDA did with on Discord.
Oh, let me see if I can fucking get this shit cracking.
Well, let me ask Bucho because he would know better.
He was banging cocktail waitresses 2 at a time.
All right, Bucho, you available or?
Me too.
BDA, I'll tell you, my fucking back feels like big pussy at the end of that one season after the broad was humping him in the bordello.
Oh,
what was your friend's name? Big booty, big pussy.
I got pussy on the brain. I always do.
That was the greatest part. The girl doesn't know. She kind of like forgets his name. Like, what's his name again? Big booty. He's like pussy. What do you mean booty?
No, you know what the best was though. I know we gotta go, but you know what the best was though is when fucking that real estate dude was banging Tony's ex, the Russian chick, and he goes in there and beats the fuck out of him with the belt.
That's it. They're playing the child. That scene's epic, man. When he's beating him with a congressman, right? The from Chicago.
No, assemblyman.
Assemblyman, yes, assemblyman, yeah. And then they're playing
and he's like, sit there and cry like a bitch.
And they're playing the Shy Lights in the background. Man, if you look up Shy Lights "Oh Girl" on YouTube and you go on the comment section, it's all Soprano references, man. It's all people saying, "Yeah, cry like a bitch." Oh man.
bro, if you type in any video with Frank Vincent in it, the dude who played Billy Bats and Uncle Philly in Sopranos, every fucking comment's got a Shine Box reference to something.
Yeah, they do.
It's I swear to God, it's like 20 years I did. I jacked off in the Shine Box.
Hey,
Yeah,
well,
that
every
makes
time I
sense.
see Frank Vincent, I just reminds me of when he fucking was baseball batting Joe Pesky and sticking him in a hole. I just get that. I just get that scene in my head every time I see Frank
You want to
Vincent.
know something?
Thing is, though, Vincent, he's actually enjoying it. Well, he was sitting there smiling. Dude, I thought that's your friend, man.
I just told Recognize and Thunderdome about that last night. They took him to a basement in Cicero and beat him with the bat in real life, and then they buried him in the cornfield in Indiana.
Because that guy's real name was Tony something, wasn't it? Tony
Spilatro.
Palatra, that's it. Right.
Yeah, he's
All
a
right,
little
listen,
menace, that guy.
fellas.
What happened? So he wasn't actually buried in the desert then?
No,
he was. I thought so too, Stu. They did that shit in the cornfields in fucking Indiana.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So because they have never found the body, have they?
They did, but it was
Yeah,
it
they
was
did.
it was later on.
They found it, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they found it.
Jimmy Hoff was the one they never found the body.
Yeah, they never found him. He's chopped up to pieces, though. He was. I think,
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
Hey, by the way, apologies making fun of us in the chat room saying we gotta go. 30 minutes later, we're still here. Apology, you can leave anytime, baby.
I don't even
No,
want to go home.
no, we do
I
have
don't
to go.
even
We do
wanna
have to
go
go. We do have to
he? A
go.
bit like your apology. When it's time to end and call it a day, you just got to give it that extra 10%. Keep running or keep lifting, just to get that bit of extra out of us. We're doing what you do in the gym.
That's right. Get that pump. We gotta get that pump.
I
Gotta get that
appreciate the
blood.
Hard work,
grind.
dedication, apology. Hard work, dedication.
All right,
Man, I
listen,
appreciate the grind.
I gotta go beat up a guy with a belt. All right, so before we go, I want to thank everybody
Me
for
too.
joining us.
Me too.
And what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, thank everybody who donated, and everybody in the
Thanks to
super
all the
chat.
callers, except 585.
Oh come on!
I'm kidding. Come on.
How you gonna throw Vinny Mac under the bus like that? Come on.
I apologize, Vinny Mac. Go fuck yourself. Anyway, so I just gotta go.
Let's go fuck it. I thought you were gonna say go fuck your mother, but no, you went a little bit classier, a little bit. All
A
right.
little classy. I'm gonna leave the mamas out.
Yeah. Yeah, your Puerto Rican grandmother's probably listening to this, so you don't want to piss her off. Listen,
Oh! I don't want to listen to this.
it's a little bit too late for that. Fellas, we do have to go. Thank you for joining us. It was a fantastic show. I think Discord is going to be a great success. Bucho seems to
think
be
so,
very.
too.
Oh yeah, the research and development team. We got a bunch of Asians locked up in the basement working for us on the IT side. They're very happy.
Is that who you have to beat with a belt, BDA?
It looked like fucking Superfly. It looked like Superfly 4 down there in the basement.
Yeah, apology. That's the
Oh,
person. That's the one I gotta beat up with a belt. Those pesky Asians. No, they love working, man. You give them a little rice, a little rat meat, and they're ready to go, baby. All right.
Jesus. Oh my God.
All right, Charlie, don't get no R&R. All right. Listen, I want to thank everybody that joined. I want to thank Stu. I want to thank Revolucion, who's able to roll with the shots. And by the way, Revolucion, before we go, we're working on the
What up,
questions. We're working on the questions for the trivia show. Every day we're adding new questions to the document so that we can have enough. Because I think we're probably gonna need about 1,000 questions, right, in total for everybody.
Let's see, 25. Let's see, 100 for the first round. We probably just need 100, 175 for the tournament.
That's right. And
175 what? What do you need?
So about 24. It's
175
gonna be
what?
24 questions, 12 for each guy in the tournament matches. So it'll be-
Just throw another 50 in there for the Fugazi ones you got.
No, we're gonna go through a triple distillation process. We're gonna cut the fucking bullshit. No more. We got this. All right.
I'm just.
The first time went as good as it went. The second time is gonna be even better, baby.
Hey, by the way,
Revolution got you.
all right, fantastic.
All I
Now,
know, it went great for me because I'm a legend.
I don't know if you guys can see in the screen, everybody in the chat room, we do have the brackets. Butcher, you want to explain the brackets a little bit and how it's gonna work?
Guess not.
Bucha already left, man. Bucha left an hour ago.
All right, I can explain. I can't see him on the screen, but yeah,
Well,
it's
hold
going to
on.
be a fucking 8-man tournament. You got
That's-
the quarterfinals, so 4 matches. It's a bracket, goes up. The winners continue on to the semifinals, and then up to the finals, and then the winner of that faces Recognize. Recognize is probably going to have a little exhibition or, warm
Might have a
up.
couple
or
of cherry picks. Might have a couple of cherry picks.
I mean, something.
Stu's already working on it for me. He's got a game plan.
He's in good hands. We just need 2 more people. I think we got 6 right now. We need 2 more. Maybe we can get some callers or some people from the chat. Like, what about, like, I don't know, the Quags? Quags, you want to step up? I don't know. Someone like the Quags could get on. I'm not putting him on the spot, but he could join.
Get
him in.
As Pete signed up, does Pete fancy it at all?
Pete.
What's that? The trivia show?
Yeah, do you fancy that?
I'll jump on.
All right, that's
We'll
7.
put Pete down then, right?
Let's put him down, and then hopefully maybe Precise or Jimmy.
You want to give me a cherry pick? Give me a 5, Vince. Come on.
I'll get you that, or
come on, you little cherry pick.
All right, listen.
I hope you're listening.
Bucho's saying his mic is screwed up, so if we don't have Bucho, if the machine breaks down, we break down, and so Bucho, the machine already broke down, so we do have to go. But just was that?
We do have a certain Armenian cab driver lined up for Recognize too, potentially.
Fantastic.
And he's going to be coming to our turf as well.
That's right, our turf.
The street to Puerto Rico. The rough street to Puerto Rico.
That's it. We got to fight right there.
Shepherd the Sons.
He
Shepherd the
wins, he
Sons.
dies.
Shepherd the Sun says, get Hamed or El Dude. Yeah, I'm interested in getting one of those guys, and the winner gets to come back to the show, because I'm sure they probably won't admit it, but I'm sure they're itching to get back.
I can tell you what El Dude's response to that would be. Can I tell you?
Mm-hmm.
Get the fuck out of here, Holmes. They're trying to play me? Let me tell you something about BDA. I would never join that fucking racist show in my life, that's it. So hell no.
Open your eyes, that's it.
Open your eyes. I would never join that show, so fuck them.
Little puppet has to go. Little puppet has to go, eh? Listen, if he wants to, if he's willing,
that's his answer. I'm just telling you, that's his answer.
Well, it's a pretty good impression. But if he wants to come in, or Hamed, maybe why not? Why not let them in and see if they can get far in the tournament, man? I mean, I think it'd be interesting.
They're gonna have to earn their right to come back.
Ahmed said I was a racist because I said Pacquiao would knock fucking Khan's head off back to the mosque. That's all I said.
Now wait a minute. See, that's a little bit.
That's
That's
racist.
BDA,
It's fun.
BDA, can we bring in low place?
Hold on. Apology.
Knock his head back.
Apology wants to say something.
Knock his head back to Allah.
Apology. What did you say?
Can we bring a low place to the tournament?
He's in the joint, bro. Fortunately.
I
think you'll.
Yeah.
Cuddling up with cellmate right now.
Okay, Recognize for 5 points. For 5 points, according to Low Place,
yes,
Triple G is a what?
Failure.
Damn shame.
A damn shame, yeah.
His dad must have sung for the Shy Lights.
Does anybody have the full video of him crying? Like the full uncut 20 minutes? Because he took it down, and I really want to see the whole thing again. There were a lot of great moments.
I think.
I'm pretty sure it's still up there.
Yes, please. I'll give you my email address.
Somebody can still you can still download them. They're still up there probably. So
Any excuse to get mine back in return, isn't it?
anyway, listen, guys, we have to go. But just before we do,
It'd be hard to bring a dude back.
Get my email address.
All right,
No.
fellas.
He's kind of like Carlos Valdomir. You can't bring him back.
Gonzalo, I don't like that. I don't like that. What you just said, man. That type of accusation is very severe.
Language.
Now, before we go,
He fucked his daughter, didn't he?
Baldomir, apparently, that's what they're saying. That's what the court says. I don't know if it's true or not. Listen, the point is, I'm showing you the bracket here. We got the quarterfinals, slot A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So we're going to be doing...
Oh, I think it's a slut. Sorry.
Would you stop it with the swearing? Come on.
It's a slut. Sorry.
All right, listen. We're going to be doing a draw one of these days. We're still preparing for it. We're setting up a whole bunch of things. It does require some preparation. So we're going to be doing a live draw We're gonna draw it out and make it really long, just like they do for the World Cup. There's gonna be performances, multiculturalism, a lot of diversity. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So show up for that one. And
I'm sure Stu is gonna love it. Yeah.
oh,
sure.
he will. He's organizing it too. He's helping us organizing it. Listen, guys, we do have to go.
I've got you back. I've got you back. Recognise. I've got you back on this one, mate.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
All right, listen.
Judges are covered. Refs covered.
Yes. Make
Steroids.
sure that money's,
Steroids.
Make sure that,
Steroids on the way.
Make sure that money's well
Steroids on
spent.
the way.
Too.
Yeah,
Hey,
definitely.
Stu, that one guy, you talked to him? You know, the guy that's been giving us a hard time?
What are you talking about?
The guy that doesn't want to, you know, like, play ball.
Don't worry about him. Being dealt with as we're speaking.
All right.
Like I
All
said,
right.
We need
I don't want anything.
every angle is covered.
I don't want anything illegal, man.
Recognize is getting the roids mailed to him under the name Matt Tricks.
That's
the
right.
Louis Resto, the Louis Resto gloves are in the post. We're all
Evan
ready
Fields.
to go in it.
Yeah, he's getting in the mail Evan Fields. That's his
Nah,
alias.
yo, Matt,
All right, listen,
Matt
fellas,
Tricks.
fellas, we gotta go.
Yes,
I gotta go feed my Asian workers. Thank you for joining us, everybody. We had Recognize Stu, we had Johnny Boy, we had Gonzalo, we had Revolucion, Pete. Who am I missing? Come on, somebody help me out here. Apology. How can I forget apology? Apology? No, nobody had Godspeed. Yes, apology. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Godspeed.
And all them callers that called in, stepping up to the chopping block.
That's right.
Vinny Virus. Got our
Vinny
eyes.
Virus. Can't forget him.
Where you go, we go. Where you eat, we eat. What
Listen.
you watch, we watch.
I also want to thank everybody that donated. Boxing Spectrum, aka Gonzalo, Virtuoso, Mr. E, Bay Area Boxing, and Steven Schneider. Thank you guys for your contribution. You keep this show going and you keep the gravy train rolling. BDA, hop on in for the ride because it never ends, baby. That's what we're talking about here. So thanks everybody for joining us, everybody in the chat room, everybody in the hangout. I want to give a shout out to Shepherd the Sons, Apology Man who was in there, Bay Area Boxing, Magic Man, Backmaster, The Quags, Ali Burton, Virtuoso, LR Chiga, Transnational Inc. Who else here? I already said Ali Burton. Oh, Koran Bread, of course. Box was there. Grievous. If I forget anybody else, was that?
Sorry, man. Someone in the chat just called me Stu DeBella.
That was the Quags. Oh, Michael Stott, Azzy were in there as well. Can't forget them. So thanks, guys, for joining us. We'll catch you on the next one, folks. Take it easy.
Shout out to Bucho.
That's
Shout out
right.
to Bucho, too. Thanks, buddy.
All right. Take it easy, fellas.